your bet stays in. That's right, if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Holy crap, we're up already. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? I tell you what's not up is the Miami Heat stop. This reminds me of an attempt to make a big three. But it's not a big three, it's a big two.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a great big two.
I mean, last year, Bam had like his best year as a professional. It just was in Miami. Miami was irrelevant, so it really didn't matter.
Well, here's the biggest news. This is a great day for the Knicks. Yeah. Another great day for the Knicks. Because him ending up in Miami as opposed to Boston, God bless you. Because if you want to sell me on Norman Powell being the guy to shoot the ball all the time, but who is shooting for them right now? This is a best-case scenario for the Knicks.
They can't afford Norman Powell. That's the thing. They're going to lose Norman Powell within this deal.
Yeah.
Norman Powell's $21 million. He's an unrestricted free agent. They don't have enough money. They have $18 million in cap space to sign and fill out the rest of their roster. You got Wiggins. They got to try and get Wiggins to opt out so that they can give him a different deal to maybe push it up a little bit. They don't have any money. So this seems like one of those deals that's going to be a straight-up deal right now that's going to turn to like a 12-team deal like Kevin Durant later.
You feel like that could definitely happen.
It has to be because they have to try and get players and strategically dump salary and cap and all that stuff. But, you can say Pat Riley did it again, right? He finally got his big fish. It's been a couple of years since Miami's been able to get a big fish. But, I mean, they gutted their roster. 4 players and 3 draft picks. And, from the and they got Bobby Portis back, right? So, you got Giannis, Bobby Portis, Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo. To me, that still doesn't put them above the Knicks. It doesn't put them above the Pistons. It doesn't put them above Boston. And it doesn't put them above the Indiana Pacers. Now, just history tells me that maybe Pat Riley knows this.
Well, the thing that you're leaning on if you're Miami, when they have gone and gotten the big fish, they have ended up in the finals, at least. They went and got Butler. They went to the finals a couple of times. They went and got LeBron. They went and got Chris Bosh. They obviously won a couple of championships. Like, when they go get them, they find guys that they can put around them, and they develop the right guys around them. Yeah, but that's your big selling point right there.
Yeah, but I just don't believe or think that even with that, I don't think the East is the same, right? I think that the Knicks are young and cheap. Well, not young,
youngish.
Cheap. I mean, they're established.
The core is in place.
Right, they're established.
Right.
I think Boston still has flexibility. Like, I think they want to bring back Williams, the kid that always got hurt, but they had it for Porzingis. So Portland, people anticipate Portland to be very, very influential in this offseason because they got money to spend. But as a player, who the hell want to go play in Portland when the owner's pulling the shenanigans he put?
Yeah, I don't know who's running Portland right now.
I don't even know. I mean, remember, he's scaling back on the expenses and all that kind of craziness.
Making them check out of the hotel early. I mean, to that point, you're doing all the little things. Next thing you know, they're going to have duct tape on the propeller of the airplane.
Right, and it's crazy. Even guys that's tough get dinged up when you think about a season.
Putting a motorboat engine into a thing for a hot tub.
Put tables on instead of Epsom salt in it. But it's interesting to see how this is going to go, right? I mean, you talk about Milwaukee. The draft is going to be interesting tonight. The Knicks have an opportunity to maybe anticipate that they're going to not have Mitchell Robinson and be able to find maybe a big that has a particular skill set. That's the thing. Like, if you want to try and replace somebody, maybe Mitchell Robinson is the guy that you can try and replace because he was a one-sided star. right? So maybe you can find somebody that's a young, big guy. What's it? They got to try and find, what's his name, Diawara?
Yeah,
Diawara.
Well, he's re-signed, but he's staying for he's the 6'9" guy, and he's staying for what sounds like a 3-year, $10 to $12 million type deal. And then there's Daddy A.
Yeah, Daddy is
the bigger guy who they drafted.
Yeah. Daddy A is the guy, the Frenchman, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have to – I just want to see how the Knicks are going to try to defend this championship.
Well, more importantly, how this, to me, I think makes it easier to defend the championship a little bit. Because I don't think that, first of all, Miami right away is immediately now a championship contender.
No, a year or two away.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy because, like, how do you tell Giannis, who was trying to get out of Dodge, that, we're going to have to make some moves to make some moves. Like, we're going to dump some more salary, figure things out next year. Like, there it is right there. They moved the Heat third, and like, come on. Third, they got 5 spots, roster spots they got to fill. They got $18 million.
Well, that's the immediate reaction to the betting public and how they're going to react to the news.
I mean,
the Heat being the third favorites in the East all of a sudden.
I mean, if this was the 90s and you didn't have 3-point shooting, you were talking about keeping scores at like 94, 96 with their defense. Like, I would say, oh, wow, ooh, be scared of them.
Here's really
what the hell going to shoot the 3?
Yeah, here's really where I wanted to start today. This was such a great day for the Knicks in more than one way. It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York YouTube channel where you can go. You can contribute to the show. You can be a part of it by putting your chat in there. And also 800-919-3776. As a Knicks fan, are you happy with Giannis ending up in Miami? I'll tell you why you should be. Number one is just that. I don't think this makes them a contender right now, and this was a best-case scenario because if he ended up in Boston, while I still would have had questions about what the Celtics are doing, I think it probably is a much better way for the Knicks to defend in the East, to send him to Miami, let him play with Bam Adebayo, who I think is one of the 5 most overrated players that we've seen in the NBA over the last 20 years. And then secondly, also who's shooting the ball down there.
He's gifted, though.
But then, no question, athletically gifted, no doubt. But I don't think Bam's doing much as far as somebody that's really going to be a centerpiece for your team.
Calories? You saying he's empty calories?
I wouldn't say empty calories. I wouldn't say that. But I just would say that I don't know that he's a great enough player all around that he's a centerpiece team for centerpiece player for a championship team. But secondly, they got problems in Boston now. They got problems in Boston because you cannot think for a minute that Jaylen Brown is taking this whole thing well. Trust me when I tell you, when they were hesitant to make sure that the word offered was used over the last week and a half, as opposed to framework and concepts and possibilities, they did not want Jaylen Brown to think that he was getting offered up in a trade because all that was going to do is annoy Jaylen Brown. And that was not exactly a situation that was going great to begin with. Remember yesterday, Wendy saying that Jaylen Brown might not be a Celtic either way.
The Celtics have, I believe, decided they just weren't good enough. It wasn't that Jason Tatum got hurt and they lost that series with Philly. I think the Celtics have taken a hard look in the mirror and they have decided we weren't going to beat the Knicks. All these people are like saying that the Knicks are, they want to say reasons why they didn't beat the Knicks. Not the Celtics. The Celtics are stone cold sober, think they're not as good as the Knicks. They're not sure they're going to be as good as the Pacers next year when they come back fully healthy, and they believe they need to upgrade their team. And I am now speculating that if Jaylen Brown doesn't get traded for Giannis, they may trade him somewhere else.
Exactly. Because if you don't trade him for Giannis, then you have a problem on your hands because Jaylen Brown's not going to be happy. And frankly, if I were Jaylen Brown, I wouldn't be happy. Wait a minute. I won Finals MVP for you. Last year, you didn't have Jason Tatum here. I was the reason that you even had a season. Everybody thought that you were tanking for the year, and now you're going to turn around and do me like that? Hey, if I'm Jaylen Brown, I want out of Boston, and I can't imagine right now. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about this. I can't imagine whoever Boston's going to get to replace Jaylen Brown is going to be better than Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I think they want to be, and it's crazy because they want to be more of an attack downhill, but that's what Jaylen Brown does. He's not just a three-point shooter. If I'm Jaylen Brown, what I'm saying is, why every time you guys want to make a move, why is it my name that's here? Like, why wouldn't you let the Heat, why wouldn't you let the Bucks say, hey, we want Jason Tatum? Like, he's coming off an Achilles injury. Like, who knows what his long-term health is? I've been available. I'm the better two-way player. Why is he the face of the team and I'm not? I'm the one that was all NBA second team this year. I'm the one that put the team on the back and got us to the playoffs. Like, I'm sure he's annoyed with that point as well. But another thing that's an issue for Jaylen Brown, being second team all NBA, he's actually eligible for an extension.
Yep.
But he has 3 years left on his deal, but he's about to turn 30 years old. So if you give him an extension, you may be paying him at a high level for 5 years, 6 years.
Right? So all the way through to like 36, 37,
right.
something
That's
that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's maybe Boston may want to get off the train a little early, anticipating that, hey, we went to two finals with this guy, with this tandem together. We won a championship. Now let's be progressive and let's try and find something else while he's at the height of his superpowers, and somebody else can give him the $70 million and buy into Jaylen Brown at 36 years old. It's like that contract looks great for the first 4 years, but then when you get to 35, 36, you start asking yourself, what is it worth? So, I guess you could dismantle the Celtics, and it's no other player out there that they can bring back that is as good or better than Jaylen Brown. So that weakens Boston Celtics as well.
Were you surprised that they being Milwaukee, opted for the Miami package over the Boston package?
No, because I think to that point, you're taking away a great talent in Giannis, but then you're going with you can't say that Jaylen Brown is too much better than Giannis, and look what Giannis was able to do with that team. It wasn't good enough.
Jaylen Brown is clearly the best player. Correct. That would have matched up with Giannis in terms of getting somebody back who can help him. And if the reason that they did it is they're afraid that Jaylen Brown in a year is going to ask out of Milwaukee, is that a good enough reason?
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they want to rebuild and start over and strip it down to the nuts and bolts. And to do that, what you need expiring contracts. You need guys that are young, that's not going to ask for $60 million. Like Tyler Hero is a good player, but he doesn't make that much money.
He's actually from up there, too, which I didn't even realize. He's from Wisconsin. Not that that's a huge team.
It almost feels like he was born from Miami, you know what I'm saying, with his fashion sense, coming to work half the time looking like Zoolander. You know what I'm saying? But, you also can move him, right? And it's not hard to move him because he doesn't make a crazy amount of money in the future. And I feel like Milwaukee, with the 4 players, gives them flexibility to trade and give out higher guns, but then they have the 3 picks as well, and which is pretty high, right? I think they have 10 and 13.
Yeah.
So they're trying to start all over again, right, with young pieces. And I don't expect maybe Tyler Hero stays around to be older, but maybe Tyler Hero's like at the point where he wants to try and win something. He doesn't want to be back to a rebuild. You know what I mean, for like 3 years. So like him and Jaime Gomez, right? That's his name? Jaime
Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez.
He's a good player.
Right.
These are all pieces.
He was maybe a 6-man a year. Maybe he gets the opportunity to start. We'll see. Like, not all 6 men are great starters. That's a fluid type of situation because, coming in with the first team and expectations opposed to coming off the bench. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, right? So, like, I think Milwaukee went for the right package to start over.
Here's Shams on the haul that the Bucks landed.
You get Tyler Hero, that's a homecoming for him. Khalil Ware, a young center. Jaime Jaquez, a good two-way wing. You get Kasparas Yakashonis, who's just 20 years old, an up-and-coming guard. And then they get a significant return of draft capital. 3 first-round picks, unprotected, including the 13th pick in the draft on Tuesday night. 1 pick swap far out in 2030, and then a 2033 second-round pick. So the Bucks now turn the page on the Giannis era after 13 years. Taylor Jenkins signed a 6-year contract to be the Bucks head coach. they are now going to take time to reassess this team. This is a step back for the organization, but one that they do with flexibility, with picks, with young players, controllable contracts, rookie scale deals as well. But listen, Pat Riley has landed his white whale. We know his history. Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Jimmy Butler, and now Giannis is walking into Miami to play in South Beach with Bam Adebayo. The job for the Heat isn't done, but that's a pretty strong duo to start with.
It's a nice duo to start with, but what I love about where the Knicks are with this, it ain't going to kill you next year.
Yeah, let them figure out chemistry.
Your window's still open, bud.
Yeah, let them figure out chemistry and all that stuff. Now that's like, to me, that's one less team you have to worry about. Even when like the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, like Boy Scout Gate happened. The first year they lost because they had to a certain amount of chemistry and ideology that you have to kind of and culture and being able to have guys adjust to the new way we're playing and your new teammates and the collective scar tissue. So that buys the Knicks, I think, a year and a half, 2 years, right? But let's see what happens now, right? Because everybody was waiting for this deal to happen. I think it's about to get crazy, right? Whether it's Zach LaVine, and I know people are like, oh, Zach LaVine, whatever. Like, great wing for, like, the Pistons. You think about Kyrie Irving. Is he going to stay in Dallas? Like, the draft is going to move a lot of people around. You know what? One thing is always crazy to me about the NBA draft is, like, you see guys come in, get drafted, they change hats like 5 times before they actually leave. You know what I mean? So, like, just because a team draft a player, don't mean he's staying with the player. Cause
I kind of hate that. I've always hated that about the NBA draft. At least in the NFL draft, even when we had the only time we've ever had that was Eli. Exactly. But even then, like, you knew what was happening. NBA, you can't keep track. There's 10 guys. Everybody's wearing a hat. By the end of the night, they're wearing a different hat.
Yeah, Jalen Duren was a Knick, right?
Exactly. Things like that.
Like, hey, in the back, we did. The Knicks drafted Jalen Duren because we took who we take? We took the little Connecticut guard. What's his name? Damn.
Not Kemba Walker.
Yeah, Kemba Walker.
Okay.
Remember, he was a Piston for a while when the Pistons were just taking salary dumps.
Was it Kemba Walker?
It was Kemba Walker.
Okay.
It was a draft day trade,
Going through some of the chat on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, 800-919-3776. Bronx Roots. People, can you all focus on our team? Those other teams.
We're talking about how it affects your team, brother.
And their useless trades, they don't move the Knicks' needle. This is the point.
This is the ops. We're talking about your ops. You always want to pay attention to what's going on with your ops. We're saying that it makes it easier for the Knicks because now you got a team that don't have no shooting. Norm Powell, who was their all-star last year, you think he's gonna come back to fit underneath some type of cap for the Magic? I mean for the Heat. And so now you talk about the residual damage that's done with the Celtics and Tatum and Brown, and like you tried to trade me once a couple years ago for Kevin Durant. Now you try to trade me for Giannis. Like, what more do you want? It's like Tyree. What more do you want from me? So this is all inside of the Knicks world of defending the championship and trying to go for 2. So you got to understand, brother, sometimes you got to talk about other teams to talk about our teams, and that's kind of what we're doing today.
Jungle checking in. Mitch has been an offensive rebounding stud, and the Knicks' time is now. Keep the roster together to defend their title. Here's the problem. As good as Mitch is in the role that he is in, it is a very specific role. He has been injured throughout his career.
Specialist.
And that is not a specialist category that's going to be worth $20+ million a year.
And it's going to be teams that's young that want that championship pedigree that will pay for him. And, like, you got to look as well, like, trying to get the second apron. Like, the reason why the Knicks won a championship is because the team refused to go to the second apron. That would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's how you got Cat to begin with. So those windows open and close, to speak about craziness, like you talk about, we always talked about Julius Randle's attitude when he was here. Like sometimes he'd be the grouch. He had the year where he wasn't the grouch. It just seems like Minnesota just got tired of his antics. I mean, they simply sent him to the Nets for basically a salary dump. They
pretty
get nothing
much,
back.
They sent a first-round pick with him to get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Julius Randle. I feel a little bit for Julius Randle in that regard.
No, he may, because he's extension eligible, they might use him to trade later.
But is Minnesota – see, I think
Minnesota's clearing space for another star.
But having said that, like, do you take Minnesota or someplace out west as a place that Jaylen Brown ends up? Because I don't think for a minute when the Celtics finally do trade Brown, unless it was going to be for somebody like Giannis, that they're not going to want him in the Eastern Conference.
Him and Ant-Man, I don't know, man. Him and Ant-Man, Jaylen Brown and Ant-Man, I don't see that.
What's the problem with it?
They're the same player.
Are they?
They're both two-way players that get in your face. They're about the same height, and they both shoot good from three, but they're both two-way players and slashers. They both need the ball. They basically are the carbon copy. One just has a beard.
Yeah. I don't hate that idea as much as you do.
I mean, they're going to start Nas Reed.
But if I'm
power forward, Rudy Gobert's going to stay at center.
Right, but my point is, like, if you brought Gobert and Jaden McDaniels back to Boston in a deal for Brown.
Nah, I'm not. So Jaden McDaniels, he's an untouchable.
But he's a younger guy, and we're talking about Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, but Daniels did his thing. Talk. What we say, chew bubblegum and talk it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what he said to Jokic and them?
Yeah.
Like, y'all can't none of y'all defend, and he put on a show?
Yeah.
And he's only making 21. You're talking about jumping from 21 to 60.
I know. We're talking about a guy that
who the hell
in recent memory is a finals MVP.
But who wants to take Rudy Gobert?
What he did last year. But that's the point.
Nobody wants Rudy Gobert.
I mean, from a defensive center perspective, he could help Boston.
Nobody. See, I think Boston is trying to bring back Williams from Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was their young prospect, but he kept hurting his knee. But when he played, his numbers was crazy. He balled out in Portland last year. I think they're trying to bring him back. He's a free agent.
The most important thing is here that Brown, I don't think, is going to end up in the East now. I don't think Boston trades him anywhere in the East, and the days keep getting better for the Knicks. This is the point.
Okay.
Like, am I wrong? Like, as a Pistons fan, you should be freaking thrilled. You should be thrilled. He's going to Miami. They're not going to do anything for a year and a half, 2 years. They'll be a better team. They might be a playoff team, but who is hitting a big shot when they need it from the outside? Who? That's what I thought.
That's true.
And then
we got White.
But
are you talking about the Heat? Yeah.
No, but then if I'm all of a sudden, so I got that going on, he ends up down there, and then I got Boston potentially getting rid of Jaylen Brown. Holy crap! I'm having a good day.
But if somebody goes out there, that means if somebody goes out to the East, to the West, that means somebody come back to the East. I'm really curious what's going to happen with LeBron. I've heard somebody text me. I think it was an insider. I don't know. I be befriending people. I don't be knowing. I be forgetting their names. But
so this is Bart Scott is reporting.
Nah, I ain't reporting nothing. They were saying Isaiah Stewart for Hachimura.
From the Lakers?
Yeah, which helps both teams because the Pistons need a wing, and they need a powerful center.
No offense, I thought you were going to say something hot, better name than that.
Well,
good players. Don't get me wrong,
but you got to think like when you get to like the certain points where it's not about the big players that you get, it's about the small pieces that you get, like Josh Hart, like Bridges, right? Well, you already got your big players.
The one thing I want to make sure that we don't romanticize here in the coming days, look, Alvarado just pushed back his deadline to Friday as far as when he has to opt in by. He agreed to push it back to Friday.
Yeah, that means they're trying to figure out a way to creatively get somebody to come sign for less.
Or what they're going to do tomorrow night in the draft, or tonight in the draft, rather.
You going to tell me you're going to wait to see if you're going to get somebody in the draft? That would piss me off.
No. Can we find somebody else's replacement in the draft as opposed to Alvarado's replacement in the draft? What is that going to look like when we're making our pick at 24? They got him to push it back a couple of days. That's a good thing. And then they are bringing Diawara back. So, again, I don't make too much of that.
Def, you're trying to kill Mitch for Alvarado.
No, what I'm trying to do is not romanticize what players are in the wake of a championship. Let's not It was an amazing moment with Mitch's offensive rebound. That's not worth $20 million a year.
Need your Wemby stopper.
It's not worth $20 million a year.
Need your Wemby stopper.
I don't know Wemby's going to get back there next year.
I think
what's going on in the West with Oklahoma City, I don't know Wemby's getting back there next year.
Well, they may be in talks to bring Kawhi back.
Who? San Antonio?
Yeah.
Well, if that happens.
Yeah, he averaged 28 last year.
All right. Well, we'll see if that happens. If that happens, then we'll obviously talk about them being back next year. But my point is simply this. The Knicks are having a good couple of days. Don't put yourself in a spot you're going to regret if you put yourself in the second apron for Mitch. I don't think they're going to do that. 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Is this a good development for the Knicks? Giannis ending up in Miami. That's what I want to hear from you right now at 800-919-3776. Later in the show, Phil Simms is going to join us. He's got thoughts on Brendan SORSBY. Maybe this whole Jet thing, you heard Rich yesterday say it was people outside of the organization that told him I couldn't see them being interested. Maybe that's a smokescreen, on the Jets' interest level and where they're going to end up bidding on SORSBY. But Phil's got some thoughts on SORSBY that he wants to share, and I'm looking forward to that. And this just in, Bobby Marks is going to join us later as well. Bobby Marks will join us between 12:30 and 1.
The Da Vinci Code.
Right here on ESPN New York.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payouts so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame, straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
Heavy traffic in Queens on the Van Wyck southbound by Union Turnpike. It's an accident being cleared from the right lane. The outbound Gowanus at the Belt Parkway heading out toward the Verrazano Bridge. The ramp to the Belt currently closed. There's construction work. Hopefully they'll get a lane open soon, but that's causing a lot of traffic on westbound 278 out past 7th Avenue when the Belt Parkway split. New York State Thruway southbound at Newburgh. It's an accident blocking one lane. Left lane is out. Roselle, New Jersey, Route 27, St. George's Avenue closed by McCandless Street because of a vehicle into a building. George Washington Bridge, 45 minutes for the upper level coming into New York, 30 for the lower. Accident cleared on the Cross Bronx eastbound by Jerome Avenue. Lincoln and Holland tunnels, 10 to 15 minutes. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. That's how Prime members have saved over $2 billion on grocery and household items. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com. That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get any size mattress for one low price starting at $219.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
Thanks again for taking me to the game, man. I can't wait to get in there. By the way, what's in the bag?
Oh, I bring my own hot dog and peanuts. Saves a ton.
Savvy. And what about the beach chairs?
Why buy seats when you can save big and bring your own?
We can't get in without tickets.
Tickets? What do you think the portable TV is for?
Don't save money pretending to go to the game. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Let's roll. A reminder, friends, ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. It's Thursday, July 2nd, Bar A, Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore, join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. and an appearance by DiPietro Rothenberg, Bart Carlin, and more. We got plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to score a goal on Rick. Good luck with that. Actually, probably not that hard to do. Plus music from Surfing for Daisy, who will be playing an hour before and after the shows. It's all brought to you by Spike Dade, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be 21 years of age at least to enter. So is the Giannis deal to Miami good for the Knicks? Adoy. Absolutely it is. 800-919-3776. We'll start today with Reggie in Harlem on ESPN New York. Reggie, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
How we doing?
I'm doing all right. I want Golden State, man. I want Golden State to get Giannis, man. Golden State got to make a power move, man. They can't come back with that same team and expect to compete, or they're going to be right back in the lottery.
Listen, I don't think Golden State was ever going to have what they needed to go and get him.
Well, they would have to trade Jimmy Butler, who's going to take an injured, divisive figure.
You're right. I was hoping they would make a 3-team or 4-team trade, with some picks, move around some picks and stuff.
Reg,
that was our only hope.
But, Reg,
yeah.
the thing is, like we learned with the KD trade, this is the initial rush, but then we can get multiple teams involved later. So I don't think it's over with Golden State and what's going on. I think they have to do right by Steph. Does Draymond leave? Do they finally walk away from Draymond? Talk about a team that's –
They shouldn't have gave away Kuminga either, though.
Yeah, but, that's something. Anytime you start arguing with a dude about how much snacks your family eating, it's past the point of no return.
I mean, honestly, Kuminga was just a guy that we heard about for years and years. And
but he's ball. He
did a nice job in Atlanta, don't get me wrong, but I don't –
Some coaches.
For forever, he was heard about there, and you can't say we shouldn't have gotten rid of him because when was it happening for Kuminga out there?
They were suppressing him. Like, this is the thing. Like, Jimmy Butler came out and took his minutes. Like, it's like I look at Steph Curry, like Joe Burrow. I look at him like Patrick Mahomes. As long as he's there, that is your window. Like, so it's going to be guys that's going to come in and not be part of the window, right? We looked at Iguodala. He was part of the window, but then he graduated out of the program. Clay. Like, it's guys that, Livingston, like Al Harrington, Al Horford. It's guys that graduate out of the program, but when you have a generational talent like Steph Curry, you always got to have the ability. I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron went there.
Mr. August Black chiming in. If LeBron ends up in where?
Golden State.
In Golden State?
I mean, because you got to understand, like, it's the thing that floats around on social media is when that team in the Olympics was talking stuff to LeBron and was like, y'all going to lose, and Steph was looking behind and he got LeBron's back and he went on that thing. Like, LeBron, if he's going to concede and play with another superstar, and you talk about, LeBron is always strategic about his business, right? So he moves to L.A. to start his business empire, right, with all the connections, media, did movies and all that type of stuff, was producers on movies. If you go up to Golden State, that's Silicon Valley. Like, that's just that Iguodala and all those guys up there, Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott makes all this money because they linked up with these tech guys. It would make sense from a business standpoint from LeBron. It makes sense from a legacy standpoint. How often will you get to play with somebody that you deem? Because everybody wants to just automatically say that this is the LeBron era. You got to think, this is the Steph Curry era too.
Sure.
Steph got 4 just like LeBron, and Steph's impact being at one team, but Steph's impact on the game with making sure that how he changed the game, guys coming down on fast break shooting threes. That's all Steph Curry.
No,
so his impact on the league, LeBron did it with this building my super teams. And
if you're going to do that one more time, that's going to be a hell of a lot of load management for the year.
Yeah, but Steph is like Reggie Miller. Like I remember Reggie Miller and Ray Allen just walking away. I don't ever remember looking at them like, damn, they look old.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying you're not going to see them a lot during the season because they're going to make sure they're ready for the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
That's my point. Mr. August Black checking in. Giannis, a player that we were being told our team was looking at, so to all of a sudden act like Giannis is not a big deal going to our competition is not nothing. No, here's the point. In the short term, it's good to have him go someplace like Miami as opposed to going to Boston because Miami still has other holes that really need to be addressed.
It pretty much was a 1-for-1. It was a star for a star. This was like Luka going for AD. Like with the Heat, they gutted their roster like we did for Carmelo. Would he have the teammates, and can all those old people stay healthy?
The Knicks would prefer that he's in Miami playing with Bam, and now you got a ticked-off Jaylen Brown stuck in Boston.
Yeah, that's a 2-for-1.
Exactly. Mark in Irvington is next, ESPN New York. Mark, what's going on, bud? How are you?
Yo, what's up, fellas? I wanted to talk about the Nets because I might be the only Nets fan left in Jersey.
Oh, my God.
But the Nets need to go out and trade for Jaylen Brown, man.
Oh, man. So you not only will Boston disrespect him, you think they hate him too? Bro, that's what y'all doing to me. I definitely ain't signing no extension if I'm going back. I mean, listen, I forget what's the general manager there? You would know, Mark. Sean Marks, man. Like, you talk about being able to live through, like, messing up the team. Like, he's done it twice, and he's still surviving.
If Joe Tsai's Superman, he's got the kryptonite somewhere.
You ain't lying. He must have pictures.
He's got to have something.
He got him in some De La Hoya fishnet stockings with some boxing gloves on or something somewhere.
Well, that's something I didn't need. But there it is. Rob, South Carolina, next, ESPN New York. Rob, what's going on? How are you today?
Hey, fellas, I'm well. How are you?
Good. What do you got for me?
Hey, listen, I mean, this might be a little ridiculous, but I want to get your take on it. So, you guys talked earlier about how Jaylen Brown was catching feelings or might catch feelings about how he might get traded, yada, yada, yada. But to me, that's telling me if the Boston was looking to get Giannis, you're going to give up your best player to get Giannis. Why would we think that Jaylen Brown wouldn't be the best player on the Celtics because of his availability, his two-way ability to play offense and defense? And, like, if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm like, yo, I'm the man. Like, you're trying to give up me to get a two-time MVP, NBA champion to be on this team.
A 32.
But wouldn't you be annoyed that you've already won you a championship, a Finals MVP, and you're looking to move me instead of the other guy?
Right. This is a Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant power struggle about who's the alpha dog. That's what this has always been. And I think Jaylen Brown was like, I proved to you that I can carry this team by myself, right? I proved that to you. So why do you keep picking this guy over me?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if I was Jaylen Brown, I love the smoke. Bring the smoke. Like, Tatum, yes, he's a great player. He tore his Achilles. Like, we don't know how we're going to, as a Celtics organization, are going to move forward with whoever we trade for Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown has already proved himself as the player that can, like, take the load and be like, listen, I can continue to keep us in the game and keep us in, a championship scenario where Tatum is like, I'm on the bench, dude. I'm in street clothes. I mean, Tatum.
Well,
yes,
Tatum came.
He's a great player.
Tatum came back. Tatum came back, and remember, Tatum's more like 6'10". So you talk about freak of nature. Tatum is more like Boncaro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing all that. He's a big guard, but he's like 6'10", and automatically people always like the bigger guy that can do the skillful things more than the medium-sized guy that can do. Like, Jaylen Brown's like Kobe, Ant-Man, stuff like that. Tatum's like Boncaro, Kevin Durant, long arms, and they like him that way. I think he was first, right? He was the first draft pick. He was drafted before Jaylen. Or is Jaylen Brown older? I'm trying to figure out.
Jaylen Brown wasn't he the 20?
They were like 1 year before.
Yeah, Tatum and Brown were
back to back.
Tatum was the year with Fultz. Because they traded. Right. Remember, they made the trade and they took Tatum third. I think Brown was the
following year
after. Yeah,
right, correct.
Yeah. So, listen.
So Brown's a younger guy, and they still trying to move him first.
800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. Bigger question though is, are things just getting better and better for the Knicks in the East? Because it feels like it. Wasn't this good for the Knicks? Giannis to Miami as opposed to Giannis to Boston, and now you got trouble brewing in Boston?
Ask me in a week.
What do you got there on our friends from Samwell? Why don't you fire it up there, Cowboy?
Oh, I got a whole lot. I'm going to tell you what, man. What an ugly day out there today, man. This is the second day of summer or third day of summer. This is wacky D. But it is summertime, and people, you're outside and walking around and going to games, barbecues, going to watch me later tonight at the watch party, the beach, doing all their thing. But if you're dealing with joint pain, back pain, sciatica, they can shut you down real quick. I'm Bart Scott, and I'm telling you guys, like I've been telling you guys for months, Dr. Shaw at Samwell Pain is the guy to see. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no cuts, no long recovery, no relying on pain meds, just non-surgical image-guided treatments that get real results. Same day, next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Don't let pain steal your summer. Go to Samwell Pain and get back to the life you love living and enjoying the summer, eventually when the sun comes out.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Speaking of questions. Buster, I mean, Volpe hasn't kind of blossomed into what they expected. Thank God for Paul Goldschmidt, but now, I mean, at third base.
And he actually cannot end it with just a defined question.
Here's the thing for me. It drove me crazy last year with the Yankees. I'm a Mets fan. But do you think they do both, or do they prioritize the pitching over maybe some help at third base?
Maybe we taste real true torture.
That'll teach them. Yeah. If you do that and it truly takes the next step in terms of being a mental block, you end up with something like this.
What happened? I don't know what happened, but why Bregman not back?
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Listen up. Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th for 4 days of nonstop action right in the middle of the biggest sports weekend of the summer. See more than 500 athletes and celebrities, including Aaron Judge, Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, and hundreds more. All at the world's #1 sports fan festival. Tickets are on sale now. Grab yours before they're gone at fanaticsfest.com.
D'Agostino, Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn? Paycheck after paycheck. And you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800 Bite Back. Bite Back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win. A lot.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087. Or simply visit TRA.com.
Soccer fans, join Bart and Carlin for a watch party presented by Rothenberg Pilsner Thursday, June 25th. Watch the match between Germany and Ecuador at the Hoboken Beer Garden in Hoboken, New Jersey, starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 from the first German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Rothenberger, and join the energy with ESPN New York. That's Bart and Carlin live at the Hoboken Beer Garden Thursday, June 25th. Brought to you by Rothenberg Pilsner. My friends, here in New York, you need to hear this. This summer, all lines lead to Champs Sports Fan Central Station. It's a soccer pop-up shop right in the heart of the city at 125 West 33rd. Now, this is the soccer destination in New York. Jerseys for every national team you ride with, USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and way more, all under one roof. If you want to gear up, rep your country, feel the energy of the city, Champs Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street. That's where you need to be. And for all you Knicks fans, they have championship gear to celebrate your team's first title in 53 years. It is ridiculous how all of that championship gear is flying off the shelves. Try ordering it at other places. It's backed up, so make sure you go over to Champs Sports Fan Central Station. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
I feel like you got to grab that gear in case you're going to go buy the tickets to Fanatics Fest, get it signed for $2 billion.
It's not $2 billion. All
right, $1 billion. I mean, that's gonna be what's up though.
But I'm gonna have to talk about this again later on. We'll get into it. 800-919-3776. One of our sponsors, friends at Fanatics Fest.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's perfect. Go get your gear. They go together like peanut butter and jelly.
David and Elizabeth is next on ESPN New York. David, what's going on, bud? How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Let's get straight into it. That Giannis trade is a reach. I don't like it. I mean, I could care less for it because, you know, the job is done for us. But I just honestly think it's a reach. And personally, I think there might be some NBA tampering going on because it's like, why would you make that move?
No, there's never tampering going on in the NBA.
Yo, there might be some tampering going on because I personally think there's going to be another player linked to them because, like, what championship window or what competitive window you have with that trade? That trade's a reach. Just like Bart said and you said yesterday. That was a mellow trade, technically. You credit the team to get a player. Yeah, they got Bam. But, yo, like you just said, they're not going to keep Powell. It's not enough bread. And we're going to call a spade a spade. Bam, you from Jersey. I got nothing but respect for you. Sorry, brother, you're not it. Sorry. That 80 points, that was accidental and it was garbage. Sorry. And, you know, I don't hate on players.
See, David, I have no problem with Miami emptying out everything they needed to go and get him because they haven't been able to go and get the superstar player. What they're relying on is their ability to develop other players around them through draft picks and things like that. And what they're telling you is it's not going to be a year thing. This might happen in a couple of years where we win a championship. That, to me, is what's good news for the Knicks. Is right now that window remains wide open.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, it's another thing, too, Chef. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, Halliburton's not back. Yo, bro, stop bringing up Halliburton. One player's not going to do it. You guys see the love I got for Melo. Melo couldn't do it by himself. So one player can't do it. Oh, Halliburton's coming back. That means nothing. But I just want to say this before you gentlemen let me go. Bart, not for nothing. I don't know if this is a smoke screen. I hope it is because I got all my trust in Darren Muji. But they're saying, like, they're not so interested in the SORSBY thing, but what if what you gentlemen said yesterday could really happen, where he's an okay quarterback, and y'all use those other 3 picks for, other players in need to fill up, holes to get the team, competitive again, where Glenn can keep his job, and, we can try to, make something happen, man. Yeah, and not for nothing, I'm coming to the watch party. I'm definitely coming to the watch party. I'm only coming to chill with y'all, though. Yeah.
Giddy up. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yes, sir. I'm rooting for Haiti. Haiti sucks for getting waxed, so you know what that means. I mailed soccer in, and I'm just coming to chill with y'all. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Bart, tell me what's up.
No doubt. Well, as far as the Muji thing, like, we'll see, and we'll talk to Phil Simms. That's why you guys want to tune in later to kind of get his assessment. He's
coming up at noon today.
Of what we think, what he thinks SORSBY is. He has a better quarterback eye, of course, than I do. But it just makes sense. I just think, until you have a quarterback of the future, you keep throwing stuff against the wall. You can never have enough good quarterbacks on the roster. In worst case scenario, you're developing a tremendous backup and somebody that you can use as a trade piece, much like when the at the time Washington Redskins did with having Kirk Cousins and having RG3 on the roster at the same time. Sometimes we want to give people the lead and crown them the winner, but football and being in a football career is a marathon. Not always the ones that start off first are the ones that end up in the highest places.
How about Jay in Queens? Jay, you're next. ESPN New York. What do you got for me?
Hey, good morning, guys. I agree with you. Miami, the trades in Miami, I get it. For them, they got the star player that they wanted, but they were a playing team. And, even if Giannis comes in and then has another all-star season like he's capable of doing with everything that they've given away, it kind of ends up being kind of equal. You emptied the team and you gutted them, and I'm sure they're going to have more teams and in this trade to try and fill out the roster. But, the pieces that you need to fill in, I just don't know if they're going to have enough cap space to make that team competitive right away.
I mean,
but my question to you guys is, I'm sorry, Bart, just real quick. The Boston thing to me is kind of the bigger thing that I think works in the Knicks' favor, because Boston, like you said, can't send them to the East. You can't send them to Detroit. You can't send them to Cleveland or any of these teams, because it might make them better than Boston. And the teams in the West, I mean, if you send them out there, the only teams that you can give them and they'll probably pay them are teams that are at the bottom of the league.
Well,
so
Portland.
I think they're both kind of stuck in a bad space. Well, maybe Portland, but they still got Damian Lillard there. They got a lot of other pieces, and I don't know if you want to bring in Jaylen Brown. His personality might not mesh with what they have going there. So I just wonder, like, if Boston and Jaylen Brown are both in a bad place, and it's going to end up poorly for both of them. But the Knicks made out great with this, because it just, it keeps them with stability, and dysfunction and everywhere else is a good thing for us. You guys enjoy. Take care and have a good day.
And it's an article today in the, what am I reading? The New York Post, and talking about, and we'll have Bobby Marks, and he'll be on later too. And he's quoted in here talking about the second apron may not be as big of a deterrent that we believe, because when you talk about going to the second apron, what the second apron kind of prevents you to do is to make in-season trades and be able to take on salary. So the Knicks don't need to make any midseason trades, because they have the team that they envision. They got the role players. So they can do and go into the second apron for 1 year. Like, I think it's not been one team that has stayed in the second apron for 2 years straight. So it may be digestible for the Knicks to be able to be in the second apron for this season and sign guys back, and then trade guys off to get underneath the apron, pretty much how like Minnesota did, right? So they may be able to do that and then be able to make a trade for somebody or trade somebody after the fact.
Listen, nobody's better at this stuff, and we'll have him explain it. Bobby will clarify when we talk about the second apron what all the implications of it are. Okay, and simplify it. and put it into words that we can all understand. Because when you talk first and second apron, it gets crazy as to what the actual implications are. So he'll lay that out pretty nicely for us later.
I definitely would be looking for money from somebody like Clarkson. I mean, I think maybe if you talk about bigger disappointment, who would you rather have, Clarkson or Shamet? I think Shamet's the cheaper piece, but at this point, I think Shamet would be who I would try and
I don't disagree.
Keep.
I absolutely would try to keep him. If I have to pick between those two, it's not close.
I mean, Clarkson's just signed last year, so I'm sure he's under contract for this year. But if you can move that contract, he's a champion. Maybe somebody will take that salary dump for you.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. All through this tournament, the betting options on FanDuel bring you straight onto the pitch. Who will score the first goal? How many shots will each team have during the match? It's all right there in the app. And with same-game parlays, you have a chance for bigger payouts. And best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Start with a gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the Ty Butler Show.
This is Jalen Brunson's town. He's the king of New York. When you win sporting the heaviest jersey in basketball, man, that comes with tremendous accolades and praise. And for me, it solidifies Jalen Brunson as the best athlete in New York sport. He wears the crown.
The Ty Butler Show. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
This is the Michael K. Show.
All the genius that we thought that David Stearns was, right? Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't him with Milwaukee because they haven't skipped a beat without him. At some point, when does he get blamed? Because now I think there's going to be a lot of spotlight on the Mets and how bad they are because there's no Knicks to distract you. The Mets are a terribly put together team.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Prizes, flyaways, even
Cash money.
You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
What's up, my friends? This is Francisco Lindor.
This is Devin Williams. This is Luke Weaver. Bo Bichette here. You're listening to the home of New York Mets baseball.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The more I've thought about it, the more I really would not understand why the Jets wouldn't be interested in Brendan SORSBY. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. And on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, again, I know everybody will sit here and tell you that they know what Brendan SORSBY or what any other prospect is going to be as a player, when we can all have our feelings. I'm going to be honest with you right now. Yeah. Mark this down. It's me being honest. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes I lie.
Yeah.
Okay? Right now, telling you the truth, I have no idea what kind of a player Brendan SORSBY is. But what I would tell you is this. If he is regarded as somebody that would have been the second best quarterback in this past draft, talent-wise,
right,
even though it wasn't a deep one, why wouldn't you at least examine this and consider the supplemental draft with a second-round bid for somebody that could give you good answers or give you answers on who he is within a year, and then next year I have 3 first-round picks?
I'll tell you, we can go down the list, like of not the recent second-round draft picks, but yesterday we went down the rabbit hole a little bit with what second round from the Vladimir Dukas, Stephen Hills, what those Hackenberg, what those picks used to be for the Jets.
They've had good second round picks over the last several years, but then
they went through a stretch where it was I mean, you had the David Harrises and the Leon Washingtons, then it went to crap for like 6 years. I mean, and really some of the late first rounds, whether you want to go with the Quentin Copels of the world. I love Kyle Wilson, but the Kyle Wilsons of the world that just didn't pan out. The Darren Lee didn't pan out. The Aaron Pryors didn't pan out. Like, we went through a stretch where we couldn't pick pretty good. Now, I think we're on the heater now because I think Cooper and everybody they pick in the second round, the kid from, the mini Aaron Glenn, I mean, I think they're on the heater now. So, like, I would trust
D'Angelo Pons.
Yeah. I would trust my second-round draft picks now. And, like, to your point, if you can if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you keep picking until you find one. And you never know where it's going to come from because I can show you the guys, the Derek Carrs of the world that have second-round draft picks that became franchise quarterbacks. I can show you guys late in the first round they become franchise quarterbacks. And you never know how you're going to get yours, right? Because Dallas didn't know they were going to get theirs in the form of a third-round draft pick from Mississippi. Like, Seattle didn't know they were going to get theirs from a third-round draft pick or fourth-round draft pick. I forget what Russell Wilson was, right? Some people get them because they tank and they go in the first round, and some people don't. But some people luck up and find guys in middle rounds, late rounds. Baltimore moved back up to get Lamar Jackson, right? So if you have an opportunity with basically a throwaway pick, that you have an opportunity that if he is the guy, and that if he is the guy, you can recoup simply because you don't need to make all your first-round draft picks where they are. You can move down, let somebody else do it. You can get a future first-round draft pick for next year, right? The following year, right? So you can recoup that second-round draft pick if he's the guy. And if he's the guy, man, you don't have to be horrible, right? He has a whole year to redshirt, acclimate, learn from Geno Smith, who's a true professional, right? Compete with Klubnik. You have that entire time to do that. I don't see how you cannot, take a legitimate shot unless you plan on being worse than Arizona, or if you plan on being worse than Cleveland, you plan to be worse than Miami. I would like to think that the Jets can finish like in the top 22. I would think the Jets would probably, if the Jets have a good season, they'll be picking 12th, 13th. The other people draft picks that they have aren't.
If you win 6 games, you're going to pick somewhere between 9th and 12th. Something like that, right? I don't know. Maybe a little higher. Maybe a little higher.
Maybe you're going to be the Jets if they have a 6 to 7
all right,
season.
Let's say you're bottom half of the top 10 at minimum. Is that about right?
Yep. I'll put it like this because, and this is the thing. This thing as well. Like, I really think that Mac Jones is going to be somebody's starting quarterback next year.
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. You know what's interesting to me? Nobody talks about this. I would go knocking on that door again, and here's why.
Huh?
They drafted a guy named Curtis Rourke last year, who was the quarterback at Indiana the year before. Yes.
Okay.
The quarterback at Indiana the year before. Now, he got hurt early last season, but he is somebody that I know they were particularly high on. Mm-hmm. And they may have drafted him to be Mac Jones' eventual replacement as the backup quarterback.
Right.
So that's not something that I would definitively rule out knocking, at least going and inquiring about it again.
Yeah.
Now, listen.
They got to hold on because you got to think of San Francisco's history. San Francisco's history is they've been, when Jimmy G was the quarterback, got hurt. When, who's the guy now? The little Mike
Brock Purdy?
Yeah, Brock Purdy was the guy. Remember, he got hurt, elbow. 3 guys went down in the same game, in the playoff game. Mm-hmm. So they have a history where they know they probably need their backup quarterback.
But they also know that they've been very good at developing guys out of nowhere.
That's true.
Now, the other thing that I do not really care to hear much about is that Cade Klubnik is somebody that would keep you from going and taking SORSBY.
Right.
What are we talking about here? It's a 4th-round pick, the 110th pick.
Yeah, if you're worried about his feelings, then
not his feelings, but like we like him. We like him as much as SORSBY. We'll give that a chance. Like,
you're looking for your quarterback after Geno.
I need to throw darts at the wall here.
So I guess we can kind of play this game. Do we expect the Jets to have a better record than the Falcons? Mariota?
It's Penix and Tua.
Yeah, Tua
Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
I probably on the
Penix
same level.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's one team that could potentially be in front of you for a quarterback because we don't think that they're long on Penix. And, Matt Ryan is new there. He didn't draft Penix. So, okay, that's one team.
Well, but look at the rest of it, okay? The other teams that could be right there, obviously Miami.
Yep, Miami.
Pittsburgh. Now, I'm not saying that Pittsburgh's going to be worse than the Jets, but I'm saying Pittsburgh's, they took Drew Aller in the 3rd round. I don't know that Drew Aller's their answer.
Yeah, last time they picked a quarterback that was from the city he asked for, he demanded a trade in 2 years. He thought he was Himothy.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett.
But I can see Pittsburgh putting in a bid for a 2nd-round draft pick, to try and get a quarterback. I can see them.
Cleveland?
We already know that. I think people just start thinking like, hey, maybe they might try. Anybody want to take Shador?
Houston? They're not going to put a 2nd-round pick, and they're going to be good.
No, I'm talking about the draft, too. Like, I'm saying the reasons why I would get
one. No. I know, but like you threw it out there yesterday as a possibility is that if C.J. Stroud doesn't show himself this year, then
because they spent a lot of money. Like, they paid their defensive ends the highest. Danielle Hunter's making a crap load. Will Hunter just got paid the bag. Their cornerback, Stingley, is making a hell of a lot of money. If they can get a cheap quarterback all over again, that allows them to keep that core there.
Falcons. Saints seem to think Shuck's their guy, but I don't know.
I think they like Shuck.
Yep. Cardinals are certainly going to be looking for a quarterback.
Right. So those are we probably anticipate, and maybe the Titans. Maybe the Titans get better.
Well, they got Cam Ward.
We know the Raiders are going to be there because the Raiders are going to Raider.
But as far as the draft pick, yes.
Right.
But not in terms of their interest in a quarterback.
Right. You're not going to be able to jump the Dolphins. And Malik Willis, they just paid him, but that doesn't seem like
a long-term. But that's like a one. They paid him up front.
Right.
They gave him a 2 or 3 year deal, whatever they gave him, but a lot of that money was in, get rid of him after 1 year.
Right. So the Dolphins can be in front of you. Arizona, we think, is going to be in front of you. They still can't figure out Jacoby Brissett. Did he ever report?
I don't know what his deal is. I've not heard.
The Raiders are going to be in front of you and the Cardinals. So you're 4 deep for teams that need quarterbacks. I don't know so why wouldn't you go after this guy so you don't have to stink?
It wouldn't make sense to not do it. Like,
you're not bad enough.
I'm not asking you to give away in this particular moment what I would. It's a high pick, but it's not a 1st-round pick. And I've got 3 of them.
3.
It's one particular year where I just happen to have an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
So why not, if I'm ever going to roll the dice on something like that, why wouldn't it be now? Now, I want to play a little bit of Rich from our show yesterday. Rich Cimini was on with us, and this is what Rich had to say about the Jets and their possible interest in dealing with SORSBY and whether or not they want to deal with the mess that comes with it.
I talked to someone, certainly not affiliated with the Jets, but someone who's very familiar with the situation, who just got the impression that the Jets, along with other teams, some other teams didn't want to deal with, all the peripheral stuff that would come with this. Again, not a Jet person. I think some people took what I wrote yesterday and aggregated it as a Jet person. It was not a Jet person, just someone close to the situation who didn't think the Jets would want to put up with all the stuff, the hysteria and the circus stuff that might come along with this.
All right. I'll ask this question.
He's not a starter, so who cares about what records are going to come with him?
Is that a smokescreen?
I hope so. I mean, I just don't know how you cannot try and get your quarterback of the future. I mean, here's the thing. Oh, he could be suspended 8 games. Who cares? I'm still going to have him for 8 games. If he's suspended 8 games, I still have him for 8 games, and I still have him for the next offseason. Like, who cares? Like, really? Like, come in and we'll work with you. There's more time to work with Klubnik.
I just noticed something about myself, and I tend to do this. I'm just going to take a left turn here for a half a second.
Go ahead.
I want you to listen back to this, all right? Listen to me in the middle of this answer from Rich.
I talked to someone, certainly not affiliated with the Jets, but someone who's very familiar with the situation, who just got the impression that the Jets, along with other teams, some other teams didn't want to deal with, all the peripheral stuff that would come with it.
Why do I need to do that? I do that a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm trying to prove
those in the
I'm
know. Here. Right. It's just like you're acknowledging that I'm listening to you.
Yes, and truth is, I may not be.
See me. You're hearing me just go.
I'm listening to Rich.
What?
I'm listening to Rich, but like the little, they used to play that on the K show.
Yeah.
And Don like yelling at me one time. Wait, what was that? Like, what am I trying to prove in the middle of that?
It's like, what are you saying? What are you trying to say? I'm not speaking. Yeah, it's just a filler word. You letting them know that you're paying attention.
Exactly.
Like, oh, it's like when your wife or somebody talking to you, you're not paying attention to them. You're like, no, all right, word, straight up.
There was a time where Don just ripped me to shreds for that, and I didn't blame him for it, but just the annoyance in his voice was just amazing. I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh, you hit it with the Oh, that means like I can't wait till you shut up so I can say something.
That's basically what it is. It's basically what it is. I'm trying to show you that I have something to say, and that I'm finding what you're saying insightful right now.
Wrap it up, B. I got a question. Oh, really? That's what you think? My turn. You done? Are you finished or you done?
Why don't you shut up?
That's basically what it was. Oh, my God. Like, what am I trying to prove? What am I trying to prove at all right now?
One, you just tell them that you're paying attention. I hear you.
But why do I need to prove that to you?
I don't know, because like when sometimes somebody – have you ever been – another thing that you see all people do on TV. Somebody's talking, and people start nodding their head for no reason. They're like, You just verbalize it. You can't hold it in. See?
Look at me. I'm listening, see?
Wait till I kill you. This is debate.
Anyway, back to the original point. SORSBY for the Jets is something that I feel like is a very low-risk opportunity. And then can we talk about the gambling aspect of this for a second?
Yeah.
I get it. It's messy. This guy could certainly have a problem. The ability to fix that problem or to, heal from it if he's an addict, whatever it is, I understand that is a tricky proposition when we're talking about the integrity of the game. I will leave it up to the league to do as much investigating into this as they need to and see how they feel about it, because if there's one thing I do trust about the NFL, Bart, it's that they are going to do enough to keep the integrity of the game upheld, to make it at least appear how much they care about the integrity of the game, which they do. Because if there is ever the hint that a game is fixed for any reason, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
When people stop believing it, you're dead in the water. So if you are worried about running somebody out there like that who may run into a problem and then all of a sudden has to start taking a dive to pay off some debts, the league's going to know.
First of all, he's not going to be starting for a long time. You got a year for you to monitor his phone, keep him in a program, treat him just like you do with anybody that's in the program for like smoking drugs or something like that. They getting tested, so you're screening their phone, you cloning their phone, whatever. Now he can mess around and go get a bat line or whatever, but they'll know.
I would think. I would certainly think.
And like for me, like we can't keep judging what a kid does when he's 19, 20 years old. You give him a boatload of money in NIL deals. They sitting around all day. They usually are in some horrible, boring-ass college town. What else you going to do? It's either gamble, drugs, or women.
The problem is he gambled on Indiana when he was on Indiana. Now, he wasn't playing necessarily, but he was on the roster.
Right, so he couldn't affect it.
Well,
I mean, look at how many players.
And he bet them to win.
But look how many players and coaches.
I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Well, it's even better than lose.
Yeah, well, it's better than that, for sure.
Look at all the coaches and players in recent years that have gotten suspended. I think it's been like 8 games. Like,
see, there again.
It was the Lions. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was like 8 games, I think, for the players on the Lions and the coach. Was it Golden Tate?
Yeah, because they did it in the building too.
Right.
Remember, that was part of the problem as well.
So I mean, like it's been precedent set that hey, this is what you get. So even if you get that, I can still digest that if I'm the Jets.
Here's my question for the Jet fan out there: do you feel like the Jets are in a position to risk a second-round pick on Brendan SORSBY in this supplemental draft? Risk next year's second-round pick for a quarterback that you might get an answer on when you have 3 first-round picks? That's the question I have for you at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. I will get as many of your calls and comments in as I can. Pizza Man checking in. I wouldn't touch him. Why wouldn't you touch him?
Why?
At this point. Why wouldn't you touch him? Why wouldn't you take a chance at it?
Look how many people, you know how many people gamble that you just ain't got caught yet? There's a lot of people that's out there.
The amount of people out there that haven't gotten caught that are athletes that are gambling?
You think they're catching everybody?
Of course not. Of course not.
Look how long the card game stuff went on.
Gilberto's in the truck. Gilberto, what's up, brother? How are you?
My brothers, what's up? Yo, Carlin, did you hear the explosion this morning, Bart Carlin? It was a catastrophic NBA explosion from the Knicks winning their championship and having all these ripple effects affecting all the teams in the East. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Well, what I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, what I think that you are really diving in and enjoying
you said this morning
is the fact that everybody else has to react to the Knicks. Everybody else has to react and try to catch up to the Knicks.
You know, you said something earlier. I believe there was a team or a couple of teams that feel that they can't compete with the Knicks now. You know how beautiful that is to hear? Oh, my God.
That was Brian Windhorst saying that about the Celtics.
About Boston, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, boy, what's up, man? You can get what's his name that you wanted on your team now.
Yeah, we might get Zach LaVine. We're now who I'm really excited who they could get is Kobe. It's Kobe White.
Jaylen Brown, man.
No. We're not gonna we're not gonna give him more money than Cade Cunningham, $60 million. You crazy? Like I like Kobe.
Come on, man.
I've always been a fan.
He's better than Cade.
No, he's not.
He's better than Cade right now.
No, he's not. First of all, he's 30 years old, and then you're going to be giving him an extension, and he's going to be making $70 million at 35 and 36. We're not doing that. Don't. We're not falling for the banana and tailpipe, Ricky Bobby. We looking at. I like Kobe. I like Kobe White.
You want You want the Knicks to get into the second apron, but you don't want
No, because I'm saying the second apron, they can get out of it in a year, and it won't affect them because of apron. The more and more I kind of try and understand it, is detrimental to you. Like the second year, the first year, it just inhibits you from being able to make trades because you can't take salaries back. So go in the apron for a year, try and run it back, and then you got to trade some people. That's the same way you got Karl Anthony Towns. You got Karl Anthony Towns that way because they refused to stay in the second apron.
A couple of the chat comments coming in relation to SORSBY. Yaya's SORSBY doesn't want to come to the Jets. He can't make money betting against them. I don't think that'll be the case.
Let me tell you something.
RDD, we're going for Arch next year. We don't need him. That's not the point.
You're not going to get Arch.
That's the problem.
You got to hope for. Like, this is where the Jets going to find themselves. They're going to find themselves outside of being able to get a young quarterback, right? They're not going to get one of the two. They won't get Dante Moore. They won't be in the running for Dante Moore unless the season goes so bad, then Aaron Glenn's not going to be here anymore if he can't win more than 3 games.
Right.
And then you're going to
that's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that.
You're going to be in the Baker Mayfield business. You're going to be in the Mac Jones business. And you're going to be like in some type of like 3rd or 4th best quarterback, trying to find your Ty Simpson or trying to find your like middle of the pack type quarterback, hoping that you can go and get who had a quarterback that they got late. Oh, your Jackson Dart, right? You're going to be trying to find your Jackson Dart. You're not going to get a certified. We believe that this guy is a can't miss guy. And who knows? Maybe the Carolina Panthers quarterback might be out there next year.
Bryce Young?
Yeah, Bryce Young could be out there.
Dave checking in. The Jets need to risk any pick for a possible quarterback. It's the Jets. Delusional Jet fans know the Jets will fix their quarterback problem next year. Delusional Jet fans know they will fix their problem next year. No, the point is, if you want to say that the Jets need to do as many things as they can to try to fix the problem, that's why you throw darts at the wall and see what works. And in this case, a second-round pick for next season, considering you have 3 first-round picks, it's not a terribly expensive dart to throw.
And especially when you can get more by moving down. And if you find this guy, man, that means your first pick going to be a banger because everybody's going to be trying to get the quarterback. Just think 3 quarterbacks probably go because there's always 3 quarterbacks like in the first 10. Jets be right there for Jeremiah Smith or somebody else. I don't think the kid from Miami is eligible to come out, right? He was a freshman last year, right?
The receiver?
Correct.
Tony, no, he's not.
Okay, so he's
got one more year.
Gotcha.
After this year. This is one thing I do want to tackle because I'm going to start seeing more of this, and people need to understand that this is not necessarily the truth. My Holy King checking in. Arch doesn't want the Jets. Be careful on that.
But he wants Cleveland.
Be careful on that.
But he wants Cleveland.
The Jets have the offensive line intact.
And they have the weapons.
And they have the weapons that they have added and kept here.
Are you crazy?
I would not operate under the assumption that the Jets are going to continue to be an unattractive place for a quarterback when you look at the talent alone about what's around him. Listen, with the coach and all that stuff, I buy it, but just take a look at the situation.
I'll put it like this. The Jets next year will be the Chicago Bears of 2 years, the Caleb Williams years. It would be the best situation for any quarterback coming into the league to go into that's picked in the top 10 or top 15. They have
It'd be better than Miami. It'd be better than Cleveland.
They have locked down.
It'd be better than Arizona.
They have locked down their entire offensive line is under 25 years old. Maybe 26, under 26 years old. The entire line, locked down. Tippmann locked down. Mimbu, second year. They probably locked down Fashanu at the end of next year, right? The guards. Everybody's locked down. Like Tippmann's a guard. So everybody's locked down. Their entire line is locked down. What young quarterback can go in there? And I promise you guys, The offensive line was much better than what they looked like last year. They just had a quarterback that held onto the ball. Him and Russell Wilson had the longest delivery time of any team quarterback in the league when you think about Justin Fields. They have their running back, their future running back, locked up. They have their number one receiver locked up. They have a traded for big purpose type receiver in I-9 Mitchell, 6'3", 4'3".
You heard Rich talk about, and again, he prefaced it by saying we're not big OTAs people. Rich said the same thing, but this guy clearly has taken some steps forward.
They have two offensive tight ends, and one that's like a blocker / utility tight end that they just paid. They paid him because they like him around what he does with blocking and stuff like that. Who else has that? That's going to be in the top 10. Like the Jets in 2 years, God forbid, they get Jeremiah Smith next year. You would arguably say they got the best weapons in football in the next 2 years. If Sadiq is that guy, if Sadiq is Harold Fannin, 800 yards last year, 900 yards. If he's Ty Warren, if he's Trey McBride, like that volume type of pass catcher, and then you have a guy like Mason Taylor being like Hunter Henry, and then you got Brees with his ability to catch the ball, bro. Geno should be able to put pressure on. I don't know what they're gonna be defensively because they have to come together. But one thing I know, they're gonna be big coming off that damn bus. But Geno should be able to just deliver. He ain't gonna be on it. Geno was bad last year because they couldn't protect him. They had no number one receiver when they traded. They traded the kid to Jacksonville. It took a while for Genty to kind of figure it out. And they had Warren, but I think he was hurt. Not Warren, the other guy that we passed on, the tight end from the Raiders, the ball spot, man, Bowers. Bowers was hurt throughout the year. Like Geno's gonna have a full complement. Like, can you blitz Geno? Sure. Cooper can get open. We'll see. We hope that Sadiq can get open. Garrett can get open. Mason's outlet and Brees can get open. I really like the way that this offense is structured. If Frank Wright puts together a good system, this offense should be top 15.
Soccer fans, join R.J. Santillo and Ray Santiago of DiPietro and Rothenberg this Monday, June 29th, for a watch party presented by Radaburger Pilsner. Watch the 4:30 p.m. match at the Ainsley Bowery on the Lower East Side. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 and from the first great German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Radaburger, join the energy with ESPN New York. That's R.J. Santillo and Ray Santiago live at the Ainsley Bowery this Monday, June 29th. Brought to you by Radaburger Pilsner. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Giannis finally has a new home, but a former Knicks fan favorite and a big part of their rebuilding also has a new home. It's all on the way. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Tuesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
We start this Sports Center with breaking news from the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo is headed to South Beach. Blockbuster of a trade.
How does the Giannis deal to the Heat impact the Knicks' chances of repeating?
Job for the Heat isn't done, but that's a pretty strong duo to start with.
Any concern for the Yankees after dropping their third straight? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Fans arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at yankees.com/tickets today.
Want to earn extra revenue for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for local business owners to assist with deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra revenue and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
I can't believe the deal we got on these seats for the game.
Wow, they must be pretty high up here. I think my ears just popped.
Yeah, here, put this on.
Is that an oxygen mask?
An official team oxygen mask.
Well, I can kind of see the field.
Good, your senses are still sharp. You're going to need them for phase 2 of the ascent.
Don't save money by sitting in the nosebleeds. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's not far away, but it's not close to men's room. It's, you know.
Then you got to go through the door. You got to have it. That's why I like a lot of times I like to be able to put like the little door stopper in there.
Yeah, but like, are we supposed to do that? Because then it's a whole thing with security and all that.
Bro, you're coming right back.
I understand that, but then
What's
God
the
forbid the wrong person gets in the building at that point. Next thing you know, you're the one getting blamed.
No, they have to get to this floor. They have to badge in anyway.
Yeah, I know, but
it's like living in a gate in a place that got a security gate.
Yeah,
and then they get into your building like somebody.
Yeah, but like who's buzzing in the jewel thief?
But they've already been cleared. You know what I'm saying? They've already been cleared by security, so somebody know that they're here.
It's not even that. It's just it's out through door, go all the way down the hall. Like it's
tough flight, man.
I don't know. Just trying to make it happen.
How old is this building? I forget. How long we been here? 2 years?
I don't know if we've been here 2 years yet. Year and a half?
No, man, you've been here a year and a half, but like I started
You
with
and
Hahn.
I started over at the other place, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I wonder if this building is 2 years old.
I don't know.
Right?
Probably something like that. I don't think that the whole company has been here for 2 years. I don't believe that to be the case.
It's been 2 summers. That's why it feels like that.
Maybe that's true. I think we came here in like April of last year. As fascinating as this is.
Yeah, 2 winners, because then we had to realize how we get over to the other building and all that stuff.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York YouTube channel. Tom Bauer is here with some audio files. I probably said that a little too soft. Audio files. I didn't know if Harvey might have not heard me. Audio file.
The audio file.
He's like, man, y'all did audio files in 13 months.
I said it. Yeah, well, I said it very soft.
Yeah, but
well, here's the problem, though. We've had the Knicks playoffs.
That's
so
what I'm
the
saying.
audio files that we've done have been Knicks-centric.
Right. So, Harvey's out of the grizzle.
Well, I also had Harvey trying to help me there for a second, cut something up. So
appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's what we were.
No, I'm not blaming Harvey. I'm saying I'm blaming myself for saying it too soft.
Everybody calm down.
Everybody calm down.
Keep a cool booty.
Everybody calm down. Yeah, just relax. Exactly.
Well, I'm glad Tom. I'm glad Tom didn't leave his guy out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what? That's a good point. Tom is not a point the finger guy. Tom is a point the thumb guy.
He's a thumb guy.
What's up, Tom?
Hi there. So let's focus on what's been.
I told Tom to come with me, and he was afraid, and he's kept his ass in line for an extra 45 minutes.
Yeah, I can't believe you, Tom.
Yeah, that was from the other day. That was an unfortunate situation. To be fair,
it was very fortunate for you because you got exactly what you deserve. Who the hell were you back there chatting with? I feel like y'all was exchanging business cards.
To be honest, I have no idea who that was. It was a photographer for like Getty Images or something like that. We just struck up a conversation.
Yeah, I'm like, Tom, let's roll with me. Were you trying to get some snot pictures or something? Some exclusive snot pictures?
That'd be cool.
You really have to provide context when you say you're trying to get some snot pictures because Snot is the name of a band that Tom loves as opposed to some sort of weird fetish that Tom – and he may have that fetish. I don't know.
That is not true. Absolutely not.
I don't know.
It is solely on the band. But
do you have any fetishes?
Yeah, we gotta check.
No.
We gotta check your phone history.
That sounds like a HR issue I'm going to take up with them.
SNL did a great bit with the 3 guys out to dinner with their girlfriends. And girlfriend said, let's play a game. Let's see what everybody's Instagram algorithm is. No.
Nah, hell no. Yeah, we ain't going to be able to do that. Nah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Tom got it tight.
All right, so let's get on to the headlines of today. I'm going to start here with the Giannis trade and how it affects the Miami Heat and why this benefits the New York Knicks, as we've been discussing all day. Earlier today on Get Up, Brian Windhorst spoke about how the Heat might take some time to really develop things around Giannis.
The way that this trade was executed, they are now hard capped. When I say they've got $18 million to spend, it's not cap space. Everything. Not just cap space, exceptions, everything. They got $18 million. So what they have to do to be able to fill out their roster, they have to make a deal with Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has a $30 million player option. They want to say, Andrew, do not pick that up. Let's work out a deal that starts less than $30 million so that you build yourself a little bit of extra space in that $18 million. The Powell thing is important. Norm Powell was an all-star this season. He is an unrestricted free agent. Now, if you're out there, you're thinking, well, Norm Powell they're not going to be able to afford to have him go back. So they're probably going to lose him. First off, they're going to be a great defensive team because when you look at Bam Adebayo, they're going to keep Wiggins. You keep Giannis. Those are 3 excellent defenders. Davion Mitchell is a good defender. They're not going to be able to keep Norman Powell, and that is not a good shooting lineup. Wiggins can shoot, but the rest of them can't. So they're going to have to go in and just keep this in mind. Again, they have $18 million. Even minimum veterans are $3.5, $4 million. You don't even have much wiggle room to add a bunch of minimum veterans. But the Heat are a very shrewd front office. None of this is catching them by surprise. They knew exactly what they were going to do, and now they were going to have to plan. But it would not surprise me if it takes a year for them to truly build this roster after this trade.
And this is why it's great news for the Knicks.
Yep.
Because this year, the Knicks window is still wide open. And this is not a scenario where we expect the Knicks window to be open for 4 years. Next 2 to 3. At the most 3.
When you haven't drafted any of your starters and you're already tapped sitting right against the second apron.
Yeah.
And you have 2 guys that's eligible for extensions after you won a championship for the first time in 53 years. Yeah, the band going to get broke up in a couple of years, brother. Like, you might as well roll with it.
And the thing that always happens after championships, guys are going to get paid.
But it's funny because I think that the fans like, oh, well, but Brunson did this, so
guys, that ain't happening again.
Like, bro, that ain't my money. No, I'm saying Brunson did this, so like maybe Cat would take a little less.
No. What Brunson did is the anomaly. You are not some special organization that all of a sudden makes everybody take less. You know who else took less? Tom Brady. Tom Brady took less because he was married to a supermodel who might have been richer than he was.
Correct. Did you see that? Disrespectful by her too.
Yeah, she kind of blew him off on Father's Day.
Yeah,
I saw that.
She put the picture with the trainer.
Yeah.
She got the trainer out
That's
there.
rough.
Had the baby with them, but you got all them kids from time. Like, America knows you for the most part because you're Tom Brady's wife.
No. America knew her before that.
I mean, no, I'm talking about you wasn't watching the
Victoria's Secret fashion show?
I mean, I wasn't. We knew her because she was Tom. And be honest,
people knew Gisele Bündchen before she was with Tom.
I know, but I'm saying the masses. Like, it's just
so am I. Again, richer than Tom.
It's like when you crossing over, right? Well, not anymore because Tom's still working.
Well, at one point, and I think she's still doing some work too here and there.
Man, she just had a baby. She about 55, 65. She better have some skims or some type of stuff like that. First of all, disrespectful to Tom Brady not to wish him a happy Father's Day.
When are they going to come out with the shims for guys like me?
They do. They have
shims?
Skims.
Skims for men?
Yeah, they have a whole men's department, brother.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Soft against the skin.
I'm going to look like King Kong Bundy in that uniform, whatever that is. Whatever that thing is.
It'll tuck it in. If I see you walk around, man, if we ever like in the locker room, you got some snaps in between your legs, I am going to pull them things down and give you the Ric Flair chop across your damn chest.
Tom, next.
Well, I know what Carlin's going to be doing during the break, but more on that later. Brian Windhorst, more from him.
Do you? What am I going to be doing during the break?
You're going to be looking up the skims for men. You're going to look up the King Kong Bundy costumes.
Go ahead.
At any rate, more from Brian Windhorst on Get Up this morning. These both are going to be particular to the Timberwolves because they were also active yesterday, trading away Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets. So, Brian, why did the Timberwolves trade Julius Randle?
It's a salary dump. They dumped Julius Randle's salary. It's about $30 million off of their books. Back in the draft as well, slightly, which will save them a little bit more money. You can't totally judge this until you see what they do with the money that they just saved. And they've got some free agents, Ayo Dosunmu, who was really good for them after they acquired him at the deadline, is a guy that they needed to re-sign. But, they've spent pretty heavily into the tax the last few years. Basically, they're just yanking the chain. And look, you really can't judge it until you see all of the moves, but, because they still have some other free agent dollars they can spend. But I will be very interested to hear what Anthony Edwards has to say about this when it's all said and done.
And you know what, Brian? Brian's just so happened to speak more about what the next steps could be for Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. This was on Get Up.
So essentially, they're taking the money that they're saving by dumping Randle and re-signing a player that they already have.
Right.
They are not adding to the team. Already, Anthony Edwards has watched Karl Towns, a player he totally fit with on the court, be traded to the Knicks and win a championship. Last summer, they let Nickeil Alexander-Walker go. He goes and wins Most Improved Player down in Atlanta. Now, Julius Randle was not good in the playoffs. I am not arguing that Julius Randle should be the running mate for Ant Edwards, but they trade him in a salary dump. It's not a good trend for the Timberwolves, and you have to wonder how Ant looks at that.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, who's under more pressure, right? We just saw Giannis get tired of not winning after winning the championship and eventually just saying it's time for me to go. Ant-Man's been a good soldier. I'm sure he wants to be the destination that everybody wants to come to join him, not him joining other people. But who's under more pressure to build around their superstar? Minnesota or Los Angeles?
I would say the Lakers.
What star crashes out first?
Yeah, I would say the Lakers. You have to build around Luka. Listen, it was the dumbest trade the Mavericks could have done, but at the same time, if the Mavericks end up in a better position of winning a couple of years later with Flagg and whoever else that they're able to build around him with, that's an indictment on the Lakers, because that just means to me that you have completely fumbled what is a tremendous player. I absolutely think there's more pressure to get it done around Luka than there is around Ant Edwards.
Now, the drive is tonight.
Do you think Ant Edwards is going to spend his career in Minnesota?
No, not at all. KG didn't spend time.
One more year, maybe.
Time. Minnesota's becoming a place where people come and leave. People don't stay there. It's like the Pelicans. Guys leave there. Like, they had Chris Paul, couldn't stay there. They have Zion. Zion's not good. They had Anthony Davis, didn't work out. Some places have good players. They just don't know how to keep them and build around them.
Mike, It is Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York YouTube channel. I'm looking down because I see something related to a mic that I want to get to here in a few minutes. And also, there is one more little piece of audio that we have to play for you, even though we ran out of time in this particular moment, in relation to the Mets and just how bad things have gotten.
Man.
You're going to want to hear this next. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 and over, physically present, New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins AeroBurst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of AeroBurst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Soccer fans, join Bart and Carlin for a watch party presented by Rothenberg Pilsner Thursday, June 25th. Watch the match between Germany and Ecuador at the Hoboken Beer Garden in Hoboken, New Jersey, starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 from the first German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Rothenberger, and join the energy with ESPN New York. That's Bart and Carlin live at the Hoboken Beer Garden Thursday, June 25th. Brought to you by Rothenberg Pilsner. Game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6:40 Yankees are in Detroit facing the Tigers. 7:10 Mets host the Cubs. Coverage begins on 880 ESPN New York, starting at 6:30. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Bart Carlin on ESPN New York. I did want to play this because every week we know Buster Olney is on with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Buster was on today. Freddie Peralta has been so bad for the Mets.
We can't build a staff around here, man.
No.
Senga, like, between them two, like, bro, it's like, what are we doing?
Now, here's the good news. It's not like Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams have lit it on fire. Sproat hasn't been great for Milwaukee, and Williams hasn't lit it up in AAA either. Having said that, that trade was supposed to be one of the final pieces, and it was David Stern's guy. And he has been bad. He's been bad. Five-inning Freddie, and he hasn't even been that. So here is Buster on what the Mets could potentially get for Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, assuming that there's not a big run on the horizon where they win the next 8 to 10 games. Because what a lot of teams are communicating now in the trade conversations is, look, we're going to give it to the All-Star break. I don't know if that's the Mets' perspective. It wouldn't surprise me, given where they are. You know, with a 13% chance to make the playoffs, they're in the National League. It's not going to happen. So I'm sure they're preparing for the possibility of finding a trade. But let's face it, Freddie Peralta is not cooperating with his performance. You know, when you look at opponents' OPS against him, it's 755. That basically means that the league against Freddie Peralta has been Ernie Clement. Like, in a year in which there's actually going to be a decent amount of starting pitching available, Peralta, he's not out there inspiring a lot of contenders. Peralta's not pitching so well that he's going to get him a big return.
No, and they went and gave up a big return when they made the trade for him before the season, and now you're stuck with the guy, or if you do try to trade him, you're getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, man. Like
if that's not an indictment of the whole thing, I don't know what is.
I mean, Stern has not been able to build a starting rotation, man. Like, I mean, and Cohen going back to the Verlander and Scherzer, like, I can't remember being more disappointed about a team. My biggest disappointments in a team that I thought was going to be good has been with these Mets.
Yeah.
Like, the other teams, we expect them to be kind of what they are. But we thought that we were doing the right thing, going in big, especially going in for Soto. Like, you're wasted. This is another year of Soto's greatness being wasted. And I don't want to let that other team across town, because Cole, you talk about 5-inning Peralta, Cole been getting smacked around too, man.
Cole wasn't great last night for sure, and since he was been back, I mean, I have less concerns about Cole.
Who are they playing?
Yeah, the Tigers. Yeah, and Tarek Skubal, who's getting traded here in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, stop. Don't you dare say that.
You know that's happening.
They're a disappointing team too, man. It's like, you just never know, man.
He's going to get traded, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That's going to happen because he's not going to re-sign with them.
You know how many great players we have lost from the pitcher spot?
I know.
Verlander, Scherzer. We had Price at one time. A lot of great pitchers have come through that organization, man, and can't win there.
Nope.
Won one time. One time we won.
Well, I really am having trouble even.
Well, who's getting the blame?
I have to say, the Knicks have been the greatest gift in the world because they have put off us having to even discuss the Mets.
Yes.
And I'm sure that David Stearns and all of those guys are very, very big World Cup fans for the Team USA. They are begging Team USA to go on a run here just to draw some attention away. Like, all of a sudden, the Mets are just begging for the Knicks to go and do something big tonight at the draft. and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, trade their way up, which, of course, is not happening. But you get the point. The Mets are begging for anything else to happen in the news cycle so that nobody has to pay attention to them. And they have been fortunate to get to basically the end of June without anybody truly caring about what a complete and utter disaster this season has been.
They bought them a month. Remember, we were there we thought the comeback was going to come. All they have to do is win half their games. Now, Lindor's coming back. And, see, sometimes you just have to accept who you are. And I wouldn't want them to go on some mini run and lie to themselves. This is a bad baseball team.
Yeah.
And this is a team that we thought was going to be better.
And here's the thing. Every team, good or bad, does go on a little bit of a run where they'll win 8 out of 10 games.
Right.
And then you realize it's fool's gold pretty quickly thereafter.
Yeah. Like you played some guys, you had some guys on the IL, and, they were coming from some back-to-back. They came all the way across town. This is like the second series on the East Coast from the West Coast, and you win a couple of those and you start feeling yourself. And then you hold on to stars. But like to your point, I mean, is it time for Lindor to go? I think he has a no trade, right? He has.
Lindor has a no trade because he's a 5-10 guy now.
But he should want to trade.
But he
should want to say, you know what? I tried it here in New York. I can't. I'm not Ghostbusters. I can't beat this curse.
I think it might be a problem, and I think Lindor is going to have to look very closely at it because I'm sure they're going to be discussing it.
No captaincy. They already disrespecting you.
Yeah, with that thing, I'm telling you,
not really rocking with Soto.
You can't
win it. You can't win it that way. Who has a more toxic relationship, Tatum and Brown or Soto and Lindor?
Oh, I think it's probably Tatum and Brown. But at least they've already won a championship, at the very least. Hey, this July 16th through the 19th, it is the biggest weekend in sports. Taking over New York City, Fanatics Fest NYC puts you at the center of it all. The world's #1 sports fan festival returns to the Javits Center with 500-plus athletes, celebrities, and sports legends all under one roof. Get closer than ever with autographs and photo ops, live panels, podcasts, exclusive merch drops, the tailgate zone, rare collectibles, and nonstop action across every major league. For a chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN New York app, go there and enter. Find the contest tile to submit your entry. We're not the only ones who think that Brendan SORSBY might be worth the risk for the Jets. Someone else who thinks the same will join us and explain why in moments on ESPN New York.
Tuesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
We start this Sports Center with breaking news from the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo is headed to South Beach. Blockbuster of a trade.
How does the Giannis deal to the Heat impact the Knicks' chances of repeating?
Job for the Heat isn't done, but that's a pretty strong duo to start with.
Any concern for the Yankees after dropping their third straight? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Speaking of questions. Buster, I mean, Volpe hasn't kind of blossomed into what they expected. Thank God for Paul Goldschmidt, but now, I mean, at third base.
And he actually cannot end it with just a defined question.
Here's the thing for me. It drove me crazy last year with the Yankees. I'm a Mets fan. Do you think they do both, or do they prioritize the pitching over maybe some help at third base?
Maybe we taste real true torture.
That'll teach them. Yeah. If you do that and it truly takes the next step in terms of being a mental block, you end up with something like this.
What happened? I don't know what happened, but why Bregman not back?
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra revenue for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. You'll gain extra revenue, increase exposure for your business, and connect with your neighbors. Plus, it's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. If you're interested in learning more, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale now at usopen.org. The U.S. Open, spectacular awaits.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087, 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087, or simply visit TRA.com.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
We're still trying to figure out why it wouldn't be worth the risk. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York YouTube channel where you can comment. You can make your contribution to the show. You can also do it at 800-919-3776. We had him on leading up to the draft every week, provided tremendous insight. Phil Simms joins us in about 30 seconds. First, though, of course, it is noon. Which means what, Bartholomew?
It's the power hour.
Boy, I really ran out of gas there at the end.
Well, it's not for Brunson.
No, I understand. Was it for Phil?
Of course.
11 for Phil.
It's only one iconic, the original iconic number 11 around this piece. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever be disrespectful. Remember who brought multiple parades to this piece.
And he is with us right now. Mr. Simms, how are you?
Woo, I'm doing well, man. I'll tell you. Bart, I don't know what to say except nothing you do surprises me. That's about it. Okay.
Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, Phil.
Oh, that's great, Bart.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, right? What movie was that?
That was a comedy special.
Oh, no, it was a movie line, though, first. Come on.
No, I think it was Dave Chappelle, Rick James.
I don't even remember.
It was Rick James. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You're right. Rick James. Oh, man. All right, so what's going on?
So Brendan Sorsby. Let's get into this. This is somebody that we obviously didn't talk about around the draft because he had transferred, and then all of this other stuff has transpired, and he finds himself applying and getting into the supplemental draft. But, Phil, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've seen him play. You obviously studied these guys. Tell me about, first of all, what you saw from Brendan Sorsby and what you've seen from his play at Cincinnati.
I'll make it really – well, I didn't like the offense in Cincinnati. It did not display his talent at all, but when they gave him a chance, he did it. And let me tell you this, he's really, really good. I haven't talked to anybody in the NFL or whatever, even their friends. Everybody thinks every single call. I actually make calls, which I hate to do and don't do. First round. I mean, not even a hesitation. He is, I think he's try to compare quarterbacks always. I would say he's Jackson Dart.
Okay.
That would be probably how I would put him. Size, can run, sneaky runner, maybe not quite as fast as Jackson Dart, but a really good runner. Good arm, can make all the throws, makes them easy. I like this for, not that I like it, I made it up, but he has easy power. In other words, he's like the golfer can barely swing and the ball goes 320, and he looks like it's no effort and he's throwing from one sideline to the other. So man, I'm sure Texas Tech doesn't know what to believe or whatever. They're in a bad situation or whatever because they had a guy that could probably let them to the national championship game. We'll see how that goes now.
Now, you compare him to Jackson Dart, and, a lot of people have mixed opinions about the gambling situation, potentially maybe being suspended. And I like to counter with, I believe that the Jets, in short order, may have some of the most exciting, young, talented, skilled players protected by one of the best offensive lines. I just think the Jets may have some of the best situations for a young quarterback to come in that could be picked in the top 10, top 15.
Oh, Bart, without question. The Jets are sitting there. I think he's the kind of quarterback that fits everything they want to see behind center. Big, strong, makes all the throws, does it easy, like I said, mobile enough, has experience. So that's a lot of good stuff. And the first name I wrote down was the Jets. And everybody's going to say, well, they drafted Cade Klubnik. Okay, great. But that Cade Klubnik was not drafted to be the next quarterback and moving on, a franchise quarterback, as everybody says. But SORSBY, he is a franchise quarterback. Like I said, everybody's saying first round. I watch TV and, I know the supplemental draft is not used very often, but this time it's going to break the rule. Guys who might be second round talent, they go in the fifth or whatever. I feel pretty confident that he's going to go in the first round. I wrote down Jets number 1. Number 2 would be the Philadelphia Eagles if he gets that far down the road. Detroit. Why Detroit? Well, because sooner or later, this thing's coming to an end with money and time with golf, and he would fit that offense, I think, very good. The Carolina Panthers, I think they're always in play, maybe. C.J. Stroud in a big year. Going even down to Houston and seeing how their quarterback played. And they got to be sitting there going, what are we going to do? Are we going to have C.J. Stroud and sign him to a huge contract, or we want to see more? So that's just a few of the teams. I think there's quite a few teams that probably have him as a first-round pick, and if they get a chance, I think they'll take him.
The great Phil Simms is with us right now talking about Brendan SORSBY with the Jets. If you are the Jets, when you have kind of the almost embarrassment of riches that you do for next year with the 3 first-round picks, does that make you more likely to kind of roll the dice in a scenario like this if you're somebody that's in charge and making these kind of decisions?
Yes. I mean, they got 3 first-round picks next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so you got 3. Okay. And so the risk and reward or whatever makes sense to me for the New York Jets. Again, I think he fits the profile that they really want at the quarterback position. And the fact that you got 3 first-round picks, you can afford. And even if it doesn't work, it's not going to destroy your franchise. So I really think the Jets, this will really be interesting. I think there's a great possibility they could be the team. I look at the Jets, Philadelphia, those 2 really jumped out at me, and Detroit, that one of those teams might get him. So, we'll see. But the gambling thing, gambling, hell, every show on TV's, hey, don't forget this. I can't even think of a gambling site right now.
Oh, the league's taking the money.
Don't mention none because they ain't paying you. So we just say gambling sites. Yeah, we don't give away the milk for free, Phil.
I hear you, especially you, Bart. You're money hungry.
But it's tied in with the league, and obviously the league's always going to have the integrity of the game in their mind. But Phil, to put it this way, I don't know that this is Art Schlichter from back in the day. I don't know that it's not, but I don't know that it is either.
No, it's not. It's not. The year he was hurt at Indiana, I don't know these all for facts, so I don't want to say too much, but some of the bets are so nothing. And, he was hurt one year when he was at Indiana, and so he's sitting in his dorm. Who knows what goes on? But I don't think I have no knowledge of it, Chris, at all, but I don't think it was one of these things where he's going to be so addicted to it that he's going to continue to do it as a pro football player. There's no way. If he does, then the talent was great, but the other stuff was horrendous if you ever get caught doing this again. So which I think is fine. And the fact that the league has the gambling is such a big deal with fantasy football and the scores and all that now. And look, they punished him enough. Or maybe not enough, but there he is at Texas Tech. Everybody was going to fight against it. That's why he has to come out. And I'm not, doing this to help Brendan Sorsby. This is what I know, what I've seen, what I saw on film, and talking to a few people around the NFL. It's a slam dunk right now. They think he's going in the first round.
I guess what a lot of people want to know, because one of the surprises, and it was a surprise that that you liked him too, was the Ty Simpson evaluation, because we thought there was only maybe one first rounder in this draft. And, Ty Simpson emerged late. He ended up going to a tremendous space. The Rams believe that he can be maybe the predecessor or the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford. If this kid Sorsby came out, I guess compare him to Ty Simpson as far as your evaluation of how you think he compares. So I think that'll give our listeners an idea of where he is.
A different style of playing, different techniques or whatever, and how you play the game. Think of Ty Simpson. He is truly the runner, the thrower that you put almost with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was never probably the runner that Ty Simpson was, but he fits their offense perfect. And I'll just say this about Sorsby. Who do we have? We got Frank Wright and Musgrave down there, who's been around the league, coaching quarterbacks, offensive coordinator. I think this is exactly the kind of quarterback they want. That's just me guessing, but looking at the history, who they are. So I think it's a very safe pick. And Ty Simpson, as time when I loved him early, and then so many people are against him. I said, well, Chris and I would talk at night sometimes, and let me just watch it one more time. Okay, no, I'm convinced this guy's arm and his foot movement and his mobility and everything else to get the ball down the field fit the Los Angeles Rams perfectly. And I think when his turn comes out there, you'll see Sean McVay. He got a guy that's somewhat a duplicate of Stafford. So we'll see how it works.
Phil Simms is with us breaking down Brendan Sorsby. So we talk about it being a low-risk proposition if they were to, say, use one of their first or a second. But can you find out enough about a young man like this in a year so that a year from now, I have a much better idea as to whether or not I have to go find somebody else, or is that not enough time?
Oh, are you saying what if they took Brendan Sorsby?
Let's say they took Sorsby. Are they going to be able to find out by the time they draft next year that, you know what, this is not our guy. Maybe we need to use one of these other picks on a quarterback or trade some things up to get the guy?
No, Chris.
Not enough time.
If they take him, it's plenty of time. They already believe, and whoever takes him has already believed. They don't even need time, that he's shown and he fits what you want to do and everything, that he can do whatever you want. Run the ball, mobile enough to escape the pocket, make plays, got the speed. And like I said, makes all the throws. I mean, it's to me, he's a can't misser. And, of course, now the psychological part is he loved football, and you find all those things out, which you will find them out by talking to him, watching him work out, interviewing a lot of people that know him, and you get this kind of information. And if the Jets do end up taking him, that'll be because they covered every single base. They know exactly who he is and what he is going to be as a player, and that makes drafting him or taking him. And don't even say the second round again. He could go in the second round, but like I've said many times already here, I'll be very surprised if he's not a first-round pick.
Now, you said the Jets, but you didn't mention like Cleveland and Miami. Is that because you're anticipating they're going to be like maybe one or two in the draft and be able to pick from the Arch Mannings and the Dante Moores?
Yeah, let me do this, Bart. I'm a really big Malik Willis guy. So I want to see him get a chance down there in Miami. And I feel almost kind of bad. He got a chance at Tennessee. He kind of turned himself around down there, but it was too late. They drafted another guy. And, he's in Miami. They're not going to be a special team, I don't think. And the quarterback, it's called catch and get rid of it as fast as you can because that's what he's going to be up against down there. And who was the other team? Miami and who?
Arizona.
Well, let's put it this way. If Sorsby had been in the draft, he definitely would have gone before Carson Beck. And not even – not even the same type of player. If you said to me, which one are you going to take? I did like Carson Beck at the end. As the more I studied him, the more I started to like him, who he was, how he moved around on the field, and that kind of thing. But I think Brendan Sorsby is definitely a better player all over than Carson Beck was. Or is.
Phil, has what the Jets have done in the draft the last couple of years with their offensive line, they just lined up Tippmann for the long term. Have they now put themselves that no matter what happens, whoever the quarterback is that they're going to be looking at, this is now a much more attractive situation than it has been for years past?
Oh, I think the Jets are on the right path. I do. You look, the offensive line has a chance to be good. And, Geno Smith, I get really, talking about pet peeves, bring up Geno Smith and say some negative things about him in front of me. And then we'll see who wins that argument. But, Geno Smith's a big dude, still mobile enough, maybe not what he was 4 years ago, but damn, he can make all the throws. He's tough as hell. I mean, he took a beating of all-time beatings out there in Las Vegas last year. What are you laughing about, Bart? Because it's true, right?
Hey, we know the Raiders are where careers used to go to die, man. You go there to steal your last couple paychecks before the league kick you out, and it ain't much change.
But he took those beatings, and when I watched their games, it was his emotion and his determination and. Well, his QBR, like I give a damn what his QBR is. Let's talk about the circumstances he was in. And the Jets are going to present a better offense, a better opportunity. And, I'll be really surprised that Geno Smith doesn't have a good, solid year. I really do. That's how much faith I have in him, about his talent, the size, his durability, and his toughness. So we'll see where that goes.
Phil, I'll hit you with one last one over on the Giants. Just the Malik Neighbors stuff. Is this starting to get a little concerning as far as his availability? Because it doesn't sound like he's necessarily going to be ready at the beginning of training camp, let alone how this could play into the season.
Yeah, I think the big worry would be this. Will he be ready for the start of the season? It puts the Giants, I think, in a tough spot, needing that type of player on the outside to be, to help the quarterback out in the offensive line. You just name it. It goes everywhere. So, yeah, if he's ready for the start of the season, I'm just going to say I don't have any information. I'd say it's 50-50. He'd make it. The biggest thing is don't rush him back because you don't want something to happen again to him like that. So we'll see if they have the patience, which they will, to do the right thing. And I'm really curious about OBJ too. So when training camp opens up, I can't wait to watch him and just see if he reminds me of the old OBJ or is it a completely different guy. I think it'll probably be somewhere in the middle of that.
Is it unfair expectations for Harbaugh in his first year? Yeah, I know he turned his roster over a little bit, but I think people think because he's a champion and what he was able to do with Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson, I think people are making unfair expectations because I think Dallas is going to be really good this year, and we know Philly's always right there.
Yeah, that's a good thing, Bart. But the good thing is I think the offensive line is solid. The quarterback is really good. So that Harbaugh walks into a situation that's real, to me, good. I think they got enough defensive players to make that work. Brian Burns, I'm a big fan of his. He's the leader, the playmaker, all that stuff. And I'm sure John Harbaugh, would he have taken the job if the Giants were looking for a quarterback? I don't know. He might have said, well, I'll wait. Something else is going to open up somewhere soon for him. Mm-hmm. So he's walked into the quarterback, solid offensive line, and some good spots on the defense. But two, what gives me a little faith, well, not a little, a lot, is the coaching staff. I think he crushed it with the coaching staff. Man, they got a lot of guys there that have had success in the league, and they're going to be able to coach it just about every way you can think of. So that, to me, that's what kind of excites me, the coaching staff, the quarterback, and a few other players that I think that can win games for them.
Phil, you're the best. Great stuff, strong stuff on Sorsby. You're giving us a lot to think about here.
That hair looking.
Well, let me give you one more too.
Okay.
There's a kid named Jaden Craig who played for Harvard, and he's now the quarterback at TCU. And man, can he play big? He's got everything we're looking for. His thing, can he adapt to major college football fast enough? And if he does, then he's going to be a high pick.
So he's the guy to watch this year. Okay.
Yeah, he's big. He can run. And, man, he hasn't seen a player down the field that's not open in his life because he can rip it down the field. And he makes some – I know it's the Ivy League, but he makes some unbelievable throws. So, yeah, and he's a local guy. So, I'm going to follow him really close. Just hope it works out for him. How about getting a degree from Harvard, and then let's go to TCU and get drafted high? Yeah, you're off to a pretty good start in life, my man, if you do that.
A little bit of adult culture change, too.
Yeah, just a little.
I used to tell Ryan Fitzpatrick that he was evolution because he looked like he had an extra frontal lobe. You know what I mean? Like those big Harvard dudes are real smart. I mean, hit you with a book. If they can't play, they can at least do your taxes. Hey, Phil, man, your hair looks amazing, man. I tell you what, I'm really feeling a new look. You look rejuvenated and refreshed, man. You did something.
Who?
You.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
fresh
haircut.
I don't know. Nice comb over.
No, I didn't cut my hair. It's just that's all that's left, big guy. So I don't know.
Phil, he hit you with a comb over there. That's not a comb over.
No, that is. No, it's like when they comb it to the side. No, the comb over to the side. It's
okay.
Like he got air time, then he combed it to the left.
But as a bald man, there has never been a positive connotation of the word comb over.
Oh, my God, Bart. I tell you, Chris, you're going to heaven, brother.
Oh, Bill. Okay. Phil, I better be on the damn express train. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Talk soon. Excellent stuff. I'll tell you what, though. That was great stuff from Phil because he's coming right out and saying, no, this is the guy. Listen to what he's saying, that he would have put him.
He's saying first?
Yeah. First round pick.
I'll give up a second round. I mean, the Jets.
Listen, I don't know if they'll have to give up.
Right.
I don't know what this looks like. I don't know what people are thinking. But when Phil's saying he's talking to people, and a lot of people are saying first, and he's watching what he's watching, I believe in what Phil says when it comes to evaluation of quarterbacks.
Like I say all the time, even a trash can gets a steak, and a broken clock is right. So the Jets could look. They never would have saw this coming. And wouldn't it be something if they find
Klubnik can't be a thing that keeps me from doing this?
Wouldn't it be something if they found their quarterback in a supplemental draft because he had a gambling addiction? What a beautiful story. You know what I'm saying? Like you found your franchise quarterback in the most crazy way because like somebody's may be getting their potential quarterback and they're gonna tell that story. Why not the Jets, man? Like we haven't been able to find the starting quarterback for this team the traditional way.
True.
Let's try unconventional.
Listen, I'm not hating against it at all.
And it still doesn't stop you from drafting a quarterback the next year.
See, that's the thing. Phil says if you do that this year,
well, you can evaluate him.
Even though you can evaluate him for the year, he said he thinks like I don't need the time. I know what he is already if I'm drafting him.
Right, you'll know. Like, you get him in your building, you learn the other things. Is he a leader? Is he the first guy in? Is he like a guy that's a bookworm? Is he a guy that's like always asking questions? Is he always trying to get better? Is he staying afterwards? Can he command young guys to stay around even though he's not the starter now? But people know like who's the leader. Like, I want to get a rapport with him because this is a guy that's going to be throwing me the ball next year.
But this is what Phil just gave us there. Is the most definitive stuff about SORSBY that I've heard. I have not heard anybody talk in that direct a way about what his capabilities are.
Saying he was in the wrong. He's like 6'3".
Said he was in the wrong offense.
Yeah, wrong offense. Still look good. Still produce. So I think he has something like 2,500 yards passing or something like that. That's not bad. Like you talking about, and then the ability to be a first round draft pick, be able to move in the pocket. And I wonder who's going to be held responsible. Like, this is Frank Reich's offense. So you're assuming that Aaron Glenn's going to figure it out this year. So that means that Frank Reich should be around for a while. Wonder what Frank Reich feels about him. And can he see himself? I mean, for God's sake, Frank Reich made Nick Foles look great.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, Gino Klubnik missed me with that. Maybe he can be your good backup. You You know what I'm saying? And he can be a leader and all that type, so he'd be a good backup.
If I have a problem where I have too many good quarterbacks on my roster, I'll deal with it.
Right, yeah. Cry me a river.
Exactly. I'll figure it out. Somebody wants to trade me a second-round pick next year for Cade Klubnik? Phenomenal. That's awesome.
Have at it.
Exactly.
And worst case scenario, too, if you're not where you need to be, Baker Mayfield looks like he's going to be available and Mac Jones going to be available.
I'll tell you, I am fascinated by – and this thing – so the July 10th is going to be his pro day.
I meant to ask Phil, was he going? Because, he doing the
knowing
pro
Phil,
day.
he'll probably find a way because he loves to go to these things.
He's in a high school, but I wonder where's he from?
I thought he was doing it in Dallas.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, you got to blame me to go to. You can go stop by the White House with Michael Irvin and have some fun. Remember when you used to go against each other? Yeah,
I wonder what they ever did with the White House. You think they tore it down?
Nah, still.
Or do you think somebody's living in it?
It's somebody there and people driving by taking pictures. Like, hey, man, get the hell away from my house. This is monument. This is national monument.
I'm charging money for people taking pictures.
Come on through. I can't say that.
This is where they kept all the blow.
Yeah, they kept a couch here. Don't sit on that couch.
I don't think they kept the furniture from back then. I hope not, at least. Might be a health hazard.
Michael Irvin, zebra wrapped couch.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Want to remind you that on Thursday, Bart and myself have a little bit of a watch party, soccer fans. That's right. It is presented by Rothenberg Pilsner. Here's the deal. Watch the match between Germany and Ecuador at the Hoboken Beer Garden in Hoboken, New Jersey. It's starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy Pilsner perfection since 1872 from the first German Pilsner. Come out, grab a cold Rothenberger, and join the energy with ESPN New York. That's Bart and myself live, Hoboken Beer Garden, this Thursday starting at 4:30, June 25th. Starting at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Brought to you by Rothenberg Pilsner. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. What about the Giannis trade and the fallout from it? Bobby Marks joins us next with the NBA draft tonight on ESPN New York.
Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com as Fanatics Fest NYC returns to the Javits Center on Thursday, July 16th through the 19th. The world's #1 sports fan festival puts you where sports, collecting, culture, and entertainment collide. See stars like Tom Brady, Aaron Judge, Jalen Brunson, and hundreds more, including live panels and podcasts, exclusive merch, and Fanatics games with $2 million in prizes. Go to fanaticsfest.com to get your tickets today.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, and I know how a serious accident can change your life just like that.
I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and I understand that with pain comes medical bills and time out of work. Let us get you justice.
This is John Ryan, the closer. For over 35 years, our family has been getting accident victims every dollar they deserve.
I started this firm for the injured so they can bite back against the insurance companies.
Our legacy is to get you justice. Bite back.
To get you paid. Bite back.
At D'Agostino & Associates, bite back means fight back. When you're hurt and they blame you, we bite back and get you every dollar you deserve. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, so call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. 1-800-248-3222. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
New York basketball is back on top. Champions of the world. When you watch a team play that well, you can tell. It starts with how they're built. Depth, leadership, execution, doing the little things right. That's exactly how Tricon Construction builds too. Whether it's medical, industrial, multifamily, or commercial, Tricon brings the right team and the right plan to every project across the Tricon area. So if you're looking for a construction partner for your next project, don't overthink the pick. Choose Tricon Construction. Every phase, Every detail done right. Visit TriconBuilds.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
NBA Draft is tonight. Part of all the coverage is Bobby Marks, ESPN front office insider in the NBA, who joins us right now. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN. Bobby, it's Chris and Bart. We know it's a busy day. We appreciate a few minutes. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How we doing?
We're doing great. And let's start here. Giannis trade, your take on the fallout from it, and ultimately why Milwaukee opted to go with Miami as opposed to sending him to Boston in a Jaylen Brown trade.
Yeah, I think it could have went either way. I thought both deals were basically on the 5-yard line with the Boston deal and the Miami deal here. And I think from a front office and from a coaching perspective, I think Miami is the best deal based on you basically get a clean slate with the draft pick this year, young players, hero, future picks here. I know Brown is the best player out of the group that potentially could have been traded and is a top 10 player. But you basically have Jaylen Brown walking into a roster is owed $180 million plus with Miles Turner and Kyle Kuzma in the 10th pick here. And I think long term, if you're going to rebuild this thing in Milwaukee, which they certainly are doing, that was the option to go.
I mean, you talk about Bam Adebayo and you talk about Giannis. That's a tremendous 1-2 punch. But who's going to facilitate the ball and how are they going to fill this roster out with only $18 million? Kind of left to kind of fill out the supplemental players, especially after what we just watched with the Knicks and how the role players played such a big role in their success.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the job of the front office here. I mean they'll lose Norman Powell in free agency because of it. They've got a pretty good track record of finding those under the radar guys, whether it be Max Strus or the Gabe Vincents of the past here. They have got to get some shooting. I mean, that's a priority for Miami. Davion Mitchell played a lot at point last year, but they're going to need to get some guard depth here. I think they become a destination now as far as where, maybe some of these players that could make a little bit more somewhere else would go to Miami and play for the veteran minimum exception potentially here. I think, it's basically kind of, what New York did last year. New York didn't have any money to go out and spend, and they still go out and get Landry, and they bring back Landry and Jordan here. So you're basically going to have to follow the same type of script as far as what the Knicks did.
Can I ask one thing? Why was it just those two teams with Giannis being a generational player? Yeah. We looked at like San Antonio had all the resources that they need to maybe be able to build and give up plenty of young assets and draft picks. And also OKC seems like they always are in the running to be able to give people a bunch of draft picks.
A player going into the last year of his contract and who had a lot of say as far as where his next team was going to be, who has the ability to sign a long-term extension in January. And I think there were a handful of teams that were interested in him. And I think the risk wasn't worth it to take him on for potentially 1 year and lose him next year in free agency here. So I think that's why it basically got down to, Boston and in Miami. I think Minnesota at one time was part of it, but, based on what they would have had to give up, and I know they made the Randle trade, or they agreed to make the Randle trade with Brooklyn here, but you were looking at losing probably McDaniels and Naz Reid as part of that deal here. So that's a big reason why you only saw two teams, is because his inability to extend with some of these other teams that were interested.
Bobby Marks with us, ESPN NBA front office insider, part of ESPN's coverage of the NBA draft tonight. As we look at how it affects us here in New York, that's really all we care about, right? Even if you win a championship, you're still going to be narcissistic about it. So I would contend that it is much better for the Knicks that he ended up in Miami versus ending up in Boston, at least in the short term. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair. I think and I think Miami will certainly be better. But I think if he had walked into a Boston lineup where you were basically trading Jaylen Brown, 27th pick in the draft, a future first, maybe one of your young players, but you basically slide with him, Tatum, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Namus Keita, maybe you do something else in free agency here. I think it's probably it's a little bit more of separation where Miami potentially is right now. So I would agree with you. I still think New York's the, even with the trade to Miami, and even if he would have went to Miami, he would have went to Boston, I still think New York is the front runner in the East again, as they should. And, a lot of it will be determined as far as what they do with their bench again.
So now I know everybody was waiting for the Giannis shoe to drop, and we've gotten here, and now we have the draft tonight. And we saw the KD trade a couple years ago that kind of turned into a 7-team trade. What's the butterfly effect of Giannis going down to Miami, and what's some next big moves that we maybe can anticipate?
Well, I think what's the fallout in Boston with Jaylen Brown? I think that's the biggest thing here, is as far as he was subject to rumors 4 years ago when Kevin Durant was in Brooklyn, and now he was as close as it comes to getting traded to Milwaukee here. And as I said, he's got 3 years left on his deal. And what is the ramifications there? I don't think you have to go out and listen. You were trading for Giannis in this deal. I don't think you're going out and like surveying the market and saying like, hey, can we get 3 players for Jaylen Brown? I think if nothing happens, you probably have some little bit of damage control as far as repairing that relationship for a player that his name was in trade rumors. But I think the other things too, I think it will be interesting as far as the butterfly effect, as far as a lot of these guys that are extension eligible. Kawhi Leonard, is a name certainly to keep an eye on as far as what happens with the Clips out there, who's got the 5th pick in this year's draft.
Bobby Marks with us, ESPN NBA front office insider. Okay. So we're having a lot of discussions, as you would imagine, around the Knicks and what they can afford and what they can't afford to do. Can you just, in layman's terms, explain as much as possible what the short-term, long-term impact is of the second apron and Jim Dolan making such a big deal about that last week?
I think if you ask Jim Dolan today, I think he'd like to have a do-over as far as what his comments were last week. I think when you look at, and I think the second apron, the second apron is basically a penalty. It's a restrictive penalty that limits what you can add outside of your own roster. And there's certainly a lot of different rules that come with it here. There's no rules that when it comes to retaining your own players, retaining your own free agents, whether it be Landry or Mitch. And Jim Dolan said he'll write a big check here. And yes, you will write a big check if you retain both players here, but the alternative is if you let both players go, and Jose Alvarado's got a player option that he's got extra, I think, by the 29th, you are playing the minimum market. Like, you don't automatically get like $15 million in cap space to go out and sign a $10 and a $5 million guy. That's not happening here. So I do think you can, when you're a championship team like New York is, you can have that flexibility to go out and exceed the second apron. And then you can, if you want to get out of it next year, you can do that. Boston showed that they can do that. Cleveland has showed that they can do that here. Teams don't stay in there for multiple years here. So I do think I wouldn't close the door on some of your bench players coming back and being in a second apron when we're in free agency, and next week.
In your opinion, who's the most important piece or the hardest player to replace when you talk about Shamet, you talk about Mitch, and ultimately, who's the third guy?
Alvarado.
That's a good question. I would say Mitch would probably be the easiest to replace.
Oh, wow.
I say that. I say that. Listen, I think he's got a lot of value and everything like that, but I do think you can go out and find a center on the market that can play 15, 20 minutes for you, and that's where Mitchell is. I think Landry, as far as his ability, the ability to get you, bench scoring, perimeter scoring. I think that's a value in this league here. And Jose, I think a lot of people when they traded for him didn't think he'd be closing out games, and to find backup guard depth in the league is, I think, extremely, extremely valuable here. So yeah, I think, listen, in a perfect world, you love to retain all three. And I think if you don't, I think it's a matter of what's the market for Mitchell Robinson. Is it 12, 13 million? I don't see him getting more than 15 out there. Maybe, so that's I think that's going to be the big thing as far as, how do the Knicks prioritize each guy.
So you got the draft tonight. Is it a potential replacement for the Knicks to kind of address in the draft a player like Mitchell Robinson, or is it the size in the draft tonight for that?
Yeah, you could. I think where they are at 24, I think it's the matter of what goes before them. I think when you have a player that's, a low-cost contract that I think it's like $3.3 million for the first year here, and you've got him for 4 years, it's a way to get around the apron, the way to get around the restrictions when you have young players depth-wise. Or you could look at it, hey, we can maybe trade out 24, save that money that can go to a little bit more flexibility that we might have and pick up a future picks down the road.
Bobby, great stuff. We know it's a busy day. As always, we appreciate the time and the insight, helping to clear some stuff up for us.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Yep, that's Bobby Marks, ESPN NBA front office insider. He will be part of ESPN's coverage tonight of the NBA draft. I mean, we're already at the freaking draft. Now, granted, what's nice? Don't really have to really care all that much about the draft tonight. Just from a Knick perspective, I'm not saying you don't watch it, because the guy I love in this draft is A.J. DeBanza, the guy from BYU. Oh, God, I love him.
See, but people think that Peterson's going to be better.
They might be right.
They think he's a 6'6" Kobe. I just want to see if he gets his way.
I just didn't see enough from Peterson, whether it was the being dehydrated stuff or whatever it was all season, the cramping, all those problems. I don't know that I saw enough. I feel like DeBanza's an explosive, amazing player.
But the half that Peterson played was pretty damn impressive.
I'm not saying he can't be great.
They think he's John Wall with a jumper. They think he's Kobe.
Oof. If you think he's Kobe,
he's a ball handler.
It's not just all that. He better have that mentality too. He better be a killer. And I can't sit here and tell you that I know that he's a killer like Kobe.
I mean, it's going to be up for debate. We're going to be talking about who should have went first. And I always love the guys. Like, I saw DeBanza saying, this could be the best draft since the LeBron era with all those players. So I'm wondering, who's the Dwayne Wade in this draft?
And who's the Darko?
Could be one of them 7-footers from Michigan.
That's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. 800-919-3776. Your last chance to get through and be a part of the show on the Knicks, how the Giannis trade played out, and how it is a much, much better situation and is great news for the Knicks. And Brendan Sorsby, you heard from Phil Simms a few minutes ago. He absolutely believes the Jets should be all over this. Do you? Let's go. 800-919-3776.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game, because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game, because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 and over, visiting President New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Want to earn extra revenue for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for local business owners to assist with deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra revenue and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay. It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one 50% off and 0% APR for 24 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends June 30th, 2026.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. ESPN New York YouTube channel at 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. Let's get Jose in Connecticut up on ESPN New York. Jose, what's up, baby?
What's up, my guys? What's up, man? I just had two things for y'all. First, like I'm happy that Giannis didn't go to the Celtics, man, because the Heat, it's gonna take them at least another year to get that roster ready. And they're probably going to lose Powell, which might be a good pickup for your Pistons, Bart, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't going to keep him.
Yeah, I like Norm Powell. He's a scorer. He's the first-time All-Star last year. I think he averaged like 21 points a game. Norm Powell, we're going to see like Kawhi Leonard is the next shoe to drop because the Clippers believe they can get another kind of like stretch 4 or 3 and move on from Kawhi with that astronomical contract. You can't expect Kawhi to be healthy 2 years in a row.
That's true, man. And then my thing about the draft, man, my guy, man, from St. John's, I'm hoping, and there's been some buzz about it, like I'm hoping that the Knicks pick up Ejiofor, even if it's in a second-round pick, because I feel like he's a perfect complement to Cat off the bench, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not tall, but he plays D. He's an inside guy. And he could play in New York, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the guys I'm looking at, but that's what I hope. And that's about it, man. I love y'all.
All right. Too, man. I wonder where like Hartenstein going to go. Like it's a lot of like it's not like a great free agent draft, but I wonder like where those guys go if somebody get traded for a draft pick, right? Rather take a pick. You know, you got like Chicago. Chicago got Nick Claxton like for nothing. It's like, hold up, did he have to go for the salary dump?
I think basically that's what happened.
To Chicago?
I don't know about how the Nick Claxton part of it worked out.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a financial part of it. But Nick Claxton's a very useful player.
I like him. He's like a
good
smaller
defensive
version of
center.
Jared Allen. Like he can play pick and roll. Still haven't learned how to shoot, really.
I'm just looking at the players. First of all, can we talk about a couple of things in the league real quick?
Yeah.
Number one, you have to be the most desperate team on the planet, which they are, to hand Trae Young 4 years and $212 million.
They're ready to win, though.
But here's the thing. That's the guy that you're going to make at the center of it all?
He's not going to be a
I know you're going to put him with
either
whoever
Peterson
they draft tonight.
and you just got a hell of a shooting guard.
I understand, but you going to let him run the point?
Now, I think he's going to be coming off pin downs and be the shooting guard.
I
He
don't
can be
know.
a little bit of both.
I do not love him as a player. I really do not.
Well, the fact they gave him $53 million is like a lot, but they ain't paying nobody. That's the whole thing. They're finally off of the Bradley Beal, and like you think about the bad contracts they've had between John Wall and Bradley Beal the last couple of years. Porzingis spent some time there. What I'm curious about is what do they do with Anthony Davis? Do they sign Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Anthony Davis wants an extension. You want to sign a dude that's always hurt? I mean, but just think of that big three.
I don't want to go after him.
But just think of that big three. Either DeBanza, Peterson, Trae Young, and they had some good players, role players last year, but then you add Anthony Davis in it. I don't want to say the Wizards can be back because I don't ever remember when they were ever here.
Yeah, it's not back. It's Wes Unseld was the last time they were here.
That's when they were in Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. Number 2, Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this sentence to you, okay? See if you don't fall out of your chair when I read it to you. Reeves is eligible for a 5-year contract that starts at 25% of the salary cap. That would pay him a projected $239.3 million.
That's more than Trigger.
For Austin Reeves.
Just remember he was a 10-day contract? That's crazy work, man.
Austin Reeves.
It's good work if you can find it.
And the Lakers want him back.
Yeah.
That's a player option.
They're letting LeBron James go.
Other player options, okay? First of all, there's Harden, which is the player option at $43 million, but only 13 of it is guaranteed.
No, he gonna lie. You know, he opted in because they'll go to LeBron so quickly.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Only 13 million of it is guaranteed. So if you are Harden, you have to operate under an assumption that if I opt in, I'm not getting the full 43.
Oh.
I'm probably only getting 13.
Yeah,
so you got to think at that point that Harden's going to opt out because he's going to get more than 13 somewhere.
But who wants to deal with him though, man?
It says on the open market he'd make less than that. I don't know.
Less than 13 or less than 40?
He'd make less than 43, but would he make less than 13?
I mean, I feel like Jared Allen hasn't got his money yet.
I mean, Jared Allen got some money. I need to look at his contract. Hang on, I'll take a look. But that's another place why
Zach LaVine has been rumored with the Pistons. Like Sacramento always seems like a team that has a bunch of good players. Sabonis out there, but somebody who needs a offensive center, a tough, rugged center.
Jared Allen contract right now. He's signed for the next several years.
Okay.
He's signed through 28, 29 he's got 28, 30, and 32.4 over the next 3 years.
You got guys like Sabonis that's going to be up.
All right, so there's Harden, right? There's Wiggins. Wiggins has got a player option.
Yeah, they tell him to opt out, right, so they can get a long-term deal. But how much is Wiggins? Wiggins has always been like a major disappointment, always waiting for him to be a superstar. I feel like Wiggins was the first Kuminga.
Yeah. Do you think that Miami, now that they've made this move, if he does opt out, then they have to go to Wiggins and bring him back?
No,
because
if he opt out, I'm signing Norm Powell because he was an all-star last year. Like, thank you. Hey, Norm Powell, come holler at your boy. You back, baby. Because at least that gives you more shooting.
Is there anybody out of the following players? I'm going to present a few of them to you. tell me the one that intrigues you the most to really be able to help a team right now if they opt out.
Yeah.
Draymond, Fred VanVleet, Porzingis, or that's it as far as the opt-outs?
Yeah, I'm interested where Stu Beef is going, because clearly if they're going to pay Derwin, they're going to let Paul Reed be the backup center for the Pistons. So I wonder where, he's been rumored kind of everywhere. He's been rumored to Miami before even Giannis went there. He's also been rumored to the Lakers, right? A active big man that can shoot the three at like 35%, good free throw shooter, and like for as short as he is, he's a hell of a rim protector as well.
You're talking about Robert Williams from Portland. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
Cheaper Mitch.
They want him back. They want him back in Boston.
Yep. Cheaper Mitch.
He's actually better offensively. Remember, he was the one that had the knee injuries, and was getting hurt.
Here was the other player option guy I wanted to mention, if he does anything for you at this point. Marcus Smart.
Nah, hell no. He been done.
Okay.
You know who I want? For the Pistons, and one of my favorite players, I love the way he play. I think his name's Pat White or Kobe White.
Kobe White.
Yeah, with the little afro, the hair all over there, was with the Bulls.
Yeah.
He went somewhere, man. He was on fire in the playoffs and the play-in.
Yeah, Kobe White can play.
I like his offensive game. For teams that need a backup point guard, somebody that can facilitate, shoot, instant offense coming off the bench. That's why I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Players getting moved for picks, players, teams picking players for other teams, even though they're picking them for a later trade later. And the good thing about the Knicks is they just got to sit back.
Well, the most important thing to know right now is, as Bobby said earlier, the second part or the second apron doesn't really affect you when you're re-signing your own players.
Right.
So if they did want to pay Mitch, they could pay Mitch. It's just considering what Bobby also said, that Mitch is probably the easiest to replace in that group.
I was surprised with that. They saying 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's easy to replace. 7 foot, somebody that's good against Wemby. Big guys that are big, he's good against Embiid.
Yeah, but we know what the knocks are. He's been injured plenty, and you're going to have to deal with that, and that's an awfully big price tag to pay for what you got in the postseason.
So 15 minutes, 12 minutes.
Listen, you got an incredible offensive rebound when you needed it.
But he also played great defense on Wemby, hit him in the throat. You know what I'm saying? He was a physical guy.
Took the tech.
Yeah, he allowed Cat to stay out of foul trouble when you had to go play guys like Embiid, stuff like that.
The Michael K. Show is on its way in mere moments.
Live from Detroit, baby. Get a Coney dog, chili cheese dog, baby. Go to Lou's, too. Go to Lou's, get you a corned beef sandwich, about 5 pounds.
Go ahead, Michael. Corned beef, chili cheese dog at Lou's.
Extra mustard.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
New York City, get ready as Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th, right in the middle of the biggest sports weekend of the summer. With more than 500 athletes and celebrities, every major league, and hundreds of thousands of fans for the ultimate sports fan experience. Get your exclusive merch, rare trading cards, free photo ops, and a full tailgate zone all weekend long. Grab your tickets before they're gone at